now time for the Game of the Week, a service of SeaGame.Live. SeaGame.Live. Before we get to all the play-by-play action, it's time for the pregame show, brought to you by Northwest Athletics Apparel. They have everything you need to look and feel your best on game day at affordable prices, providing athletes and teams with excellent products and customer service. From uniform gloves to hats, Northwest Athletics Apparel can fill your needs. For more information, go to nwaa.biz on the internet or email them at nwaaapparel@gmail.com or search Northwest Athletics Apparel on Facebook. Northwest Athletics Apparel is a proud sponsor of tonight's game on SeaGame.Live.
Hello and welcome to beautiful Art Crate Stadium here in Spanaway, Washington. One of the best views of the mountain I've ever seen at a baseball or a football stadium. I'm here with Randall. My name is Ray Lana, and we're going to bring you the broadcast today, courtesy of Apache Wolf Productions.
It's a big game. We have the Washington County Pitbulls. And from Washington County, we mean Oregon. And they'll be going against our home team, the Northwest Hurricanes, and we're expecting a pretty good game. The Pitbulls, they're 5-2. They're heading into the playoffs, and they expect to make some noise in the playoffs. I've had a little personal conversation with a couple of people from the Hurricanes, and they actually think they have a good chance to win. So, of course, you always want them to believe that going in. The Hurricanes are a little bit behind, but they still have a chance. They still have a chance to make the playoffs, but you know what? It's one of these things. You say early in the season it's not a must-win game. Well, guess what this is?
Must win.
Must win, yes.
Well, it's nice to see. I got a chance to talk with the coach and see some of the players out there. They're pretty pumped up for this game. It looks like they're ready to play some football, and the season's on the line. So I mean, it's a really important step for them to get something going in order to get.
I just lost audio.
Yeah, to get them straight and a possibility of getting into the playoffs would be a really good thing for them.
That's right. Yeah, that's a big one. Let the people hear, as they say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and they are. And one of the things too is the Pitbulls. Their first string quarterback was injured. He didn't make it. So they have a second team quarterback starting out there now. According to his name is Kyron Carlson. That's the backup quarterback. According to the Pitbull coaches, they think they can do it. They think they have a good shot at that. But that's going to be an interesting approach. You have a new quarterback in there, and it'll be interesting to see how he's able just to take off right off the bat. Luckily, it doesn't catch him by surprise. They knew about this last week, so he practiced with the first team. They don't have a lot of time to practice, of course, so it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to the first series to see how he fits in there. Here's his big chance.
Yeah, in retrospect to that, I mean, you gotta think that the Hurricanes really need to get their pass rush going on early in this game in order to kind of throw this quarterback who's not used to being the starter off his normal game. I'm sure he has game. All these players seem to do in this league, so it's going to be exciting to watch the two teams battle it out.
This will be interesting too because they are a very young team, the Pitbulls, and in fact they have something like 12 new offensive players. One thing, I was talking to the coach, Mark Archetta. He's also the owner of the team, and he takes the approach. I really like this approach too. He takes the approach that he wants to get a bunch of young guys in here, guys that he hopes will go on and play in college. In fact, they sent 3 guys into the junior college ranks down in California. A couple of guys went to Shasta College, and then another 2 went to College of the Redwoods there in the Eureka area. So that's just interesting. So it's going to be important to get a quick start tonight when you're young, but they're 5-2. One more win, and they're going to set up pretty high in the playoffs as far as the handicap for the playoffs. It's the seeding. That's what I was looking for. That's the word. And so this is going to be an exciting game.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. You see these players out here. They actually, on the Pitbull side, they look like pretty imposing sized athletes out there for the coin flip. Some pretty large dudes out there. We'll see how they match up today, and they actually have a pretty good size team that came with them all the way up from Oregon. So it's kind of it's impressive to see the team coming together and definitely not taking any game lightly. Randall, what do you see as a advantage for the Hurricanes coming into this game?
Well, being at home, that always helps. And also, obviously, They have some fantastic-looking jerseys and uniforms out there. That'll help you.
Absolutely.
They have. I talked to the coaches. I don't want to get too much into what he said because other people are watching these broadcasts. But our coaches for the Hurricanes, they were confident. They felt pretty good. We have not been real successful this year, but they think this is the big time to turn it around. The same thing is that the coach for the Pitbulls said that early in the season, first game actually, he was out there and he wasn't quite sure what's going to happen. They had a young team, and they were out there and they were playing the Storm, which we saw them a few weeks ago, and that's an experienced team. And he said the very first game of the season, I'm talking about the Portland coach, that they went out there, the Washington Pitbull coach, and he said that they were able to establish drives. Hey, that's a big thing, right? Especially against an experienced team. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking for a young team to really get out there, be enthusiastic, establish the drives, and set the momentum early in the game. Now, just going back to what happened last week, there was a period of time when we ran out of gas a little bit. It's certainly on the defense. The defensive line wasn't getting a real good pass for us, so it'll be interesting, the experience and the being used to playing in this league versus the youth and enthusiasm for the Washington County Pitbulls. Washington County, but they're from Oregon.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Hurricanes come out and establish the run. They came to set up in like big packages and try to establish the run early. It's something that I think was lacking in the last game. They were getting stuffed up the middle.
Yeah.
The rush was getting through to the quarterback. So I think it's really important that they kind of check the defense so the defense can't just rush like madmen coming into the quarterback. We'll see what happens here in the next about 2 minutes. We're going to get started. Looks like the Hurricanes will be receiving the kickoff.
Well, I think you might have been listening in when I was talking to their coach because the quarterback coach, Anthony Kinney, he told me that's what he wants to do this week is start off because last week we saw a lot of, and we love the quarterback, Bryce Williams, great quarterback, but they did a lot of deep stuff, and they were blitzing the heck out of him, right? Not having a lot of time there. And actually, Coach Kinney just told me that he was hoping that they were going to do some more run. He wanted to establish the run. You picked up on that. And also shorter passes, right? That would also help negate a blitzing type of defensive approach. And he missed last week's game. He was down in California for a California Hall of Fame induction. He's in the California Hall of Fame.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and he mentioned to me that he hopes that his team plays as a team with heart and pride. That was his quote before the game.
Yeah, I think another key for the Hurricanes will be to limit the turnovers. Last game we saw 3 turnovers result in 3 scores by the opposing team. And that's going to be something that we'll definitely need to see them shore up and tighten up on offense so that they don't cause those little turnovers.
Man, that is such good recall because now that you mentioned that, and I remember that's something we talked about last week is for a team that has not had the success as the Hurricanes have not had. They played well last week, and the one time that they got hurt, the few times they got hurt was on turnovers. That's a good recall there.
Yeah, if they limited those turnovers, it would have probably been a lot closer game overall. But it's hard when you get down, especially because of turnovers, to get your mojo back, so to speak, and get the ball rolling.
There's a lot of truth to that. And also, you remember the pick 6, where the Hurricanes picked off a pass, returned it for a touchdown, and then a late and incorrect call. They called the Hurricanes for offsides, and then on review, it was the offensive lineman jumped. It was a small jump, didn't need to throw the flag, but it was a late flag, and they called back a pick 6. Throw that in there, take out some of the turnovers that we had, and hey, it was a good game anyway, but that's one heck of a game.
Well, let's get it started, folks.
Hurricanes won the toss.
Hopefully today we will get through this game without being down by 21 points, so we won't hear Randall's story about being down and scoring 21 points in just a few seconds.
Well, you know what, though? I actually thought about it. You were right. I was wrong. It was 7 seconds. I said 10, so I stand corrected, Ray, and I thank you for pointing that out because the last time I told the story, and these are all true stories, it was 7 seconds. You can have a 21-point turnaround in 7 seconds. All right, here we go.
It's happened. As they get set to kick off here, it will be the Pitbulls kicking from right to left. The Hurricanes back deep to receive. We're just getting the clock situated here.
I don't know how to set the line thing.
Luckily, we are able to keep the time on the field, and an official will be doing that.
Kickoff down to the 20-yard line. A friendly bounce to the returner. Got the blockers in front of him, breaks to his right, pointing out where they need to go. He's got the head of steam, gets all the way up to about the 48-yard line and taken down. Looks like he was kind of just tripped up there. That defensive player came in flying from the side and made the tackle.
That was a good way to open up the game, though. Good. There's a penalty on the kickoff. We'll see who's that on. And that was a nice run. That's good camera work, too, up close when he was running with the ball.
Let's see what the officials have to say on this play.
Okay, it's going to go against the and now that you see the coaches out there, he's asking the official about, hey, the clock's not working, and then the official just motioned to his wrist, and they're always able to do that. They're always able to keep the time on the field, and in fact, that's where the old 2-minute warning came from in the NFL. They didn't used to have stadium clocks that were accurate, and so now they just kept that to give the team an extra timeout, but they always will be able to keep it on the field. The only problem is then it's a little more difficult for the players and, of course, us in the booth to know how much time is left.
Looks like they're going to get a 10-yard penalty against the Hurricanes there. So the Hurricanes will take over first drive of the game on the 38-yard line, on their own 38-yard line, working left to right. Let's see what they come out with here. Those color rush jerseys look great again.
They look good.
Coming out 3 backs, 3 wide, shotgun formation. Takes the snap, hands the ball off. The back makes a spin move in the backfield and gets up and with a little head of steam. Gets dropped about the 47-yard line. Looked like a pretty hard hit, maybe helmet to helmet.
Wow,
right there.
that was targeting. Hey, let's see that one again, Ray. Not
It
Ray.
looked like he got kind of stood up there.
Yeah. Look at this. See the blitz, or see the draw block. Start with a pass rush. Look at that nice spin. Turns upfield. Keeps going.
Right
now
here,
let's
he'll
see.
get held up and then
What the heck is that? All right, here we go.
he was already on his way down. Take the snap.
Well, it would clearly
spins off, gets taken down in the backfield.
the defender clearly was targeting his head, because we actually had a little conversation with the officials before the game asking about that, because we've seen this a couple of times where the ball carrier or quarterback is there, he's defenseless, and the defender comes in and then spears him in the head, and officials told us that they can actually evict a player for that. We were not aware of that in the past.
That'll bring up 3rd down and about 2 yards to go.
On that last running play, they do that quite a bit. The Hurricanes, they will have running backs on both sides of the quarterback, and they cross. And it's tough for the defense to figure out which one's getting the ball. It'd be a little different here because they only have one running back.
4 wide set shotgun, 1 back. Takes the snap, looks left, runs up the middle, got a little bit of space. Gets hit pretty hard, but taken down about the 49-yard line of the Pitbulls, which is going to be good enough for a 1st down. That's a first down of the game, and it was on a nice 3-play drive so far to get that 1st down.
That was a gutsy run.
It was. He tucked the ball and just kind of chucked it along himself.
And there you like that, the official waving his arm. Of course, let's
Gotta
go.
get the chain gang going here.
Get him going. It's 1st down. Yeah, great return. Did have a penalty, a 10-yard penalty.
Win, so incomplete pass, out of bounds.
What is he saying?
13 minutes and 3 seconds.
Okay, so set time.
I speak referee.
The good translation there,
Yeah,
Randall.
thank you. Our great announcer and clock operator didn't make it today, so we're training new people as we go. And by we, I mean them.
Start?
As soon as the ball is hiked, they'll start the clock.
13:03, 13:36.
Start it now. There you go.
1st down and 10.
Show him pressure up the middle there.
Takes the
Picked
hike
him up,
under
getting
center,
outside.
sweeps out to the right, and gets swallowed up in the backfield about the 42-yard line.
And you know, they say close but no cigar. I tell you what, that was close, because the lead back got out there and sealed the edge on him. Unfortunately, a person was able to come through on the inside and make the big tackle for a substantial loss.
It's nice to see him line up under center, though. We haven't seen that, at least last game. We didn't see that at all. Allows them to, hand the ball off a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. usually resulting in better run plays.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen them go under center. We've done a couple of their games.
That was a big sweep play. Those are difficult to set up because you actually have to pull either a guard or a tackle off the other side in order to kind of get all the way out to the edge there. Then it's up to the wide receivers that are down there to kind of seal off their location too. 4 wide, 1 back, shotgun set.
Showing blitz to the inside. Here he comes, sending 4.
Throws it out to the side. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, when
third down.
When they're sending that many people, it's tough. You can't pick them all up. But the guys you want to pick up are on the inside. Those are the guys you got to pick up because if someone comes off of the edge, he's got further to run. In that case, a guy came up the middle, and you want to be able to pick the inside guys up. Wow!
Try to get the ball situated in the right line of scrimmage there.
It's a tale of 2 first possessions.
Yes.
Started off, we're moving it down the field, and now a couple of setbacks.
Yeah, 3rd down and 20 from their own 41-yard line.
And you mentioned this too before. The problem is when you got 20 yards, that means the quarterback's going to have to stay back there for a while. It's going to take a little while for the receiver to get 20 yards downfield, and that sets them up for a hard rush. They're only sending 4 right now.
Some movement on the offensive line.
Well, you know what? If a defensive guy points his finger, we usually believe him. Well, in this case, he was telling the truth.
It seems like he sets with a long snap count.
Yeah, that could be. Sometimes you'll do that to slow down the blitz. I mean, that's a good thing to do, except, of course, when your offense jumps offside. You know, we were talking, it's tough if it's 3rd and 20 because to get a receiver 20 yards downfield, the quarterback's got to stay in the pocket. Well, now it's 3rd and 30.
Takes the
Just
snap,
4
rolls
men.
out to his left. Containment issues on the outside edges. Got some space. Gets drawn down at the 27-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and on that particular play, the Pitbulls didn't bring anybody. They just had the regular 4 rush. And what the quarterback often will do when they're getting a lot of blitzes, they want to roll out. They got to get outside of the pressure. And at a particular time, they were just in a regular contain rush. And so, unfortunately, it didn't work out how the Hurricanes would like it to.
Yeah, the defensive end was able to break off the side there, just do his normal rush, and ended up just running right into the quarterback as he rolled out.
That's exactly right. He just had a normal contain rush.
They're going to set back to punt the ball. They're going to punt the ball from about their own 17-yard line. Receives the snap. The kick is up. It's a high kick. Going to bounce about the 44-yard line. Favorable bounce for the Hurricanes. And the ball will be down at the 35-yard line.
Okay, and the Hurricane that got down there and grabbed the ball, apparently he was listening to our broadcast last week because when it hit him, inadvertently hit the Hurricane covering the kick, he realizes then that that's a free ball for the return team and that no matter what happens, the return team gets the ball where the kick coverage man touches the ball. So you saw there when it bounced into the coverage man, he then instantly got down, grab the ball to make sure that one of the return players weren't able to grab it and run because, again, you pick it up like that, if you're the return and the kicking team touched it, nothing bad can happen. You can always get the ball back where it was touched.
All right, the Pitbulls 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
A lot of guys in the box.
Looks like the Hurricanes might bring some pressure here.
Looks like it.
Takes the snap, hands the ball off to the back. Scurries up and gets, he powers through and gets up to about the 41-yard line. He wasn't going down without a fight for sure.
No, he doesn't come off as a relatively husky person, but that was some hard running.
He looks pretty athletic out there, actually.
Yes,
number
athletic.
22 is a famous number for a lot of running backs.
And he wears it proudly.
That's right. So that'll bring up 2nd down, about 4 yards to go.
That ball carrier was Juron Jones. He also plays defensive end. That's a tough guy, right? Ball carrier and defensive end.
Both very difficult positions. Lots of contact.
He looked like a defensive end there, too.
Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, takes the ball himself, and ducks under a tackle and gets out to about the line of scrimmage before he gets taken down.
Yeah, I'm guessing that was not an intentional fake. I think it looked like a fake because as he tried to hand it off, the running back wasn't there. So it's like a fake and keeper, except usually if they're going to do that, if it's a called keep for the quarterback, he doesn't stand back there and let the defense get to him before he starts running. So that was miscommunication between the quarterback and the running back.
Very good for the Hurricanes to stay where they needed to be and make the tackle, no matter if it was a broken play or not.
Right. Lots of times those broken plays can end up big gains.
3rd down and 4. Got 3 wide receivers, 1 back. Lots of cushion on the upper receiver on your screen there. They throw it out to him. He makes the catch and goes down about the 50-yard line.
Good
So
eye.
good enough for a first down. Yeah, they gave him a little bit too much space, it looked like, on the top there for that little slant route. He came right in, just caught the nice intermediate pass, and went down at the 50. Good enough for a first down.
Yeah, I didn't even see that till you pointed it out, but that's true. A lot of space between the defender and the receiver.
Well, here's a little secret, Randall. When you
I'd
look good,
like to know one.
you play good.
There you
That's
go.
why ordering from Northwest Athletics Apparel is so appealing. They have everything. Yes, everything that you need to look and feel your very best on game day, and at an affordable price. Whether you're a budding youth rec league or an established organization, the creative folks at Northwest Apparel have the uniforms for you. 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line.
Quarterback just signaled out to
High
the receiver
snap,
to this
hands
side.
off to the back, to the right side. He's got space. He's chugging along down the field. He's at the 30, 25, 20, cutting back, 10, 5, touchdown,
Wow.
Pitbulls.
Wow. Now that's quickness and speed, also vision, right? He saw where to go. I don't know that anyone touched him. That often is a case where a guy just has the awareness of his field position, of where the defenders are. That was a nice run. That's the guy we were talking about. Didn't seem that big.
Breaks
That's
out to the right. He sees you were talking about his vision. He cuts back to the middle of the field there, and he just outruns the defense and gets in there for a touchdown.
Yeah, just the right angle. That was a nice run. That was a nice run. I'm going to be interested in watching him on as a defensive end.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting watching these players play both ways. Sometimes you see strength on their offensive side, but they're actually more of a defensive player initially.
Right.
Pretty exciting.
But, because I mentioned that on his first carry, it's like, wow, some toughness there. Didn't seem that big of a guy, but he got in there, hit pretty hard. I clearly was not worried about that. Well, it's defensive end. So that's going to be interesting. We mentioned his name. That's Jerron Jones.
It's a good football name, too. So they're going to line up for an extra point here. Moving them down to the lower hash mark. Or they're going for 2. Do they have an option in this league of where they want to start that at?
Well, you always have the option of starting the ball anywhere
And
between.
they hike the ball,
there
and
you
it goes
go,
right
pick it up
past the
and go.
quarterback. Picked up.
Oh.
Covered, and that'll just be an incomplete.
Again, if you can pick up the extra point try, the defense picks up the extra point try, and they return it all the way down the field. They get 2 points. Long way to run for 2 points, but that is a possibility. You were asking that before. You always have the option at all levels, at all levels of football, of where you want to place the ball on the extra point. There seemed to be some malfeasance on that last play.
It looks like they're going to reset that play.
That's
Let
what
him
I
try
meant to
again.
say.
Coming over to talk to Coach 8, tell him what's going on. He's the head official.
Yeah, his nickname is Ocho. There you go. Good job, Coach Ocho.
Coach Ocho.
Yeah, Coach 8, Coach Ocho. But his name isn't it. His name is Jay Joseph.
I only know him as Coach 8.
Yeah, Coach 8. And then sometimes his players, when they're trying to be on good terms, they call him Coach Ocho.
So with that touchdown and the missed extra point, that's going to be it's going to be the Pitbulls 6 and the Hurricanes 0. So after their first drive, they kind of powered the ball down the field with the run game. That's something that we didn't see a lot of last week. The Pitbulls running back there, Jerron Jones, he seems to be
It's going to be interesting to watch him.
very agile on his feet, and he's got good vision, like you were saying. So we'll see if the Hurricanes can stop his progression.
It's that special ability, is that explosiveness, right? Something I've heard that's a special ability. I never had that. I never had that power, but you just saw that. He sees it. He's got good vision. It's called field vision. He sees the line that he can gain the most if he follows, and then he just accelerates into that line.
Here's a surprise. It's number 22, Jerron Jones, that set the tee out. That looks like he's going to be kicking off for the Pitbulls here.
Is there anything that young man doesn't do?
At this point, I don't think so. A lot of teams in this league we've seen don't really have full-fledged kickers, so to speak. Think that that's the case, or do you think Jerron Jones is just that kind of athlete that would play every position?
Yeah, I don't know. Plus, you see they're low in numbers, so not everyone made it to this game.
And the kick goes short and shanked to the right and out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
Okay, can I restate my my answer?
It's already in YouTube heaven.
Yeah, no, I think something probably happened to their kicker. They just had to pull him out there. Would be my guess. Now our kicker. Now here's the thing. Our kicker, he said that he feels confident 50 yards out. Well, that would be like inside the 40 because he caught in the end zone, and plus how far the ball is back behind the line when it's snapped. But he feels confident kicking a 50-yard field goal. That's Nick Rhodes. He is a kicker. In fact, he was saying how Andrew Fernie of the New York Jets helped him work on some of his technique. So I kind of want to see him get a chance to do a long kick.
Hopefully we don't get that chance, and we'll just see touchdowns all day.
Yeah, well, that'll work for me too. I mean, I like seeing extra point kicks also.
Hurricanes are going to start their drive on the 40-yard line after that out-of-bounds kickoff.
And that is a change from the older days. It used to be they go out of bounds, they kick it again. And so on onside kicks in the old days, you just kick it really hard towards the sidelines. If you don't recover it as the kicking team, you get to try it over and over and over again. And that's why they changed that rule is you got one shot. If it goes out of bounds, it's great field position for the Hurricanes.
Let's see what they can do with the great field position. This is actually kind of where they started their drive last series, where they were starting to get momentum and go forward. Looks like the chains are going to need to move back a little bit there. Referees conferring about where the ball's placed, apparently.
Okay. Well, I'm at somewhat of a loss to understand. Didn't see a flag or anything.
Looks like we may have a timeout on the field.
Well, you can't take the first half timeouts into the second half. This is a good time to use them.
Looking to make waves on game day? Well, Northwest Athletics Apparel has everything that your youth or adult team might need to do just that, with affordable uniforms from team gloves to team hats and shirts, to just to name a few. Before you take the field on game day, search Northwest Athletics Apparel on Facebook and let them help you start your season off right. Northwest Athletics Apparel, a proud sponsor of this week's game, right here on cgame.live.
You know, they're very, very affordable. The only thing I always wonder about is, when you get really affordable stuff, do you get service? Do you get the customer service?
Yeah, apparently the customer service is outstanding with this company, and they're there with you to help you build what you want for your team, which is something that you don't get from a lot of places. It's a smaller company that's establishing themselves with quality products at quality prices. Looks like they're going to re-kick this from the 30-yard line here, so the Pitbulls set to kick off again.
I wonder if you have the option to refuse it and have them just move it back, because that's further back, so clearly it's an offside penalty.
Better kick to the 25-yard line, received, going to the right, cuts back, got some space, going up to the 40, to the 50, to the 45, 40. He's got blockers in front of him, out to the 30-yard line. Gets drugged down about the 22 or 23-yard line. What a run back.
Let's see that one again. And watch this. Watch, what they say, patience. Because they got a big guy out there. And if you're returning a kickoff and you got a big blocker, you kind of like that on kickoff. Now, look at that big dude. Look at him move. Look at the running back. Slow down. Let the big man get in front. Big man blows this guy out. That was good patience, good running.
He's very
all around a
good
there. Deal.
That's Thomas Dijonette on the return. What a return it was, actually, out to the 23-yard line. That's going to give him great field position to start this drive.
Now's the time to make something happen.
See what the Hurricanes can put together for their second drive of the game. They got much better field position.
Right, and when you're in this type of position, you also, of course, you can take some time to run the ball.
Exactly. Small progressions, a field goal will make them within 3 points of the score here for the Pitbulls. Throwing a flag before the play gets started. Thrown in the backfield.
Okay, could that like?
He's counting the people on the field.
Well, see now that's the illegal substitution. Back in the old days, it wasn't a penalty. If you had too many people on the field, it wasn't a penalty until they snapped the ball. The problem was, if you remember years ago against Alabama had a guy that ran on the field every play, told the quarterback to play, then ran off, back and forth, old bear, he was playing his games. And so they did this rule where now it's an illegal substitution where if you have 13 people, well, that would be 2 extra people, even 12, 13, 12. If you have 12 people in the huddle, it's a penalty right away instead of waiting till the snap of the ball. Again, that's so that they can't have a player run out, tell them to play, then run back off.
So that's actually going to push them back to the 28-yard line. It's a 5-yard penalty on the play, or the lack of a play.
Lack thereof.
Again, that's a illegal substitution, just like Randall was speaking about. We got a timeout on the field. So...
And people are saying, well, they're going, there was no substitution, right? But that's the definition now. If you have 13 people, in fact, it's if when you break the huddle, because you can run people onto the field. Of course, you'll get in the huddle, and then the person will run off. But if you break the huddle and there's too many people out there, then that's a illegal substitution.
Yeah. So with that 5-yard play, or 5-yard penalty, it's going to negate a little bit of the great field position, but there's still an awesome field position and scoring opportunity here for them.
Right. The only problem is that now you're adding that extra 5 yards to get the first down, and if you're not out of range of the end zone, of course. But that's the extra 5 yards. That's an extra play or two, and that's something that down in the end zone, it's always tougher, right? It's always tougher to get yards in the end zone because you have less room to work with.
Yeah, less real estate to work over allows the defenders to cover zones a lot easier as opposed to covering the entire field if they were down from the other side. We'll line up with 2 backs and an I formation, under center, 2 wide. Takes the snap.
Coming inside.
Hands it off.
Oh.
Gets met right up the middle.
Keep driving.
Gains about 4
Push.
yards on the play. Maybe 5 yards on the play with that extra effort at the end there.
Yeah, it ended up looking like rugby scrum.
They're still carrying him, both teams. They got him at the 20 in their arms.
On that play, the middle linebacker, he was showing up for blitz, showing pretty close. And when I saw them hit into the hole, because the problem is if your linebackers are blitzing and they don't make the tackle, all of a sudden there's nobody behind. And he broke through. I thought he might be able to really turn in a big run there, but it was good fit by the defensive back coming up and filling in for the blitzing linebacker. That's something that a well-coached team will do. They will have the defensive backs realize if it's a run, they have to come in and fill for the blitzing linebacker.
Sometimes it's hard to find the gap that they're going to run through too, so it's a good vision by the defensive back to get up and fill that specific spot where the running back was running through.
That's a great point. Yeah, you got to see the hole the running back's running through before he gets there. Good point.
So second and about 11 yards to
Looking
go.
down to the
Drops
right.
back, throws it over the middle. Oh, has a man and just out of his reach. It's going to be an incomplete pass. That would have been complete and probably a touchdown if it was caught.
Yeah, I actually went to practice the other day, and that was one of the issues that some of the coaches were pointing out, working with, is that on occasion the receivers might not hold on to a ball that one thinks they might be able to. I tell you what, though, it's tough over the middle like that. I would never go over the middle. I mean, I used to be in the middle as the center, but I wouldn't want to catch balls over the middle.
Yeah, it's a scary proposition to catch a ball while you're running one direction, knowing
That's
that
right.
the opposing team is running the opposite direction directly at you. So that's going to bring up third down and 11 from their own 24-yard line. 3 wide, split backs behind the quarterback. Shotgun set, takes the snap. Steps up in the pocket, got a little space, running out to his right. Got a lot of room, gets up to the 20, the 15. Looks like he steps out of bounds about the 12-yard line. or tackled down at the 10.
And run down again. Look at the interior of the line at the beginning, right? We were talking about this, is that you got to be solid inside. They weren't solid inside, but he was able to come underneath the contain rush to the right of your screen, to the bottom of the formation. Contain guy got upfield like he's supposed to. That was just some great awareness by Bryce Williams, the quarterback.
Yeah, Williams did great staying in bounds there. It looked like he was going to step out, and he just brought his leg around and did not step out.
That's right. That was a good play. But I tell you, once again, the slightly disconcerting concept here is that on a few plays early in the game, the defense has been able to break through in the middle on blitzes. Again, you got to be solid in the middle if you're going to let a guy go free because you can't block him. Have him come off the outside so the quarterback has a chance to eyeball him and adjust.
Williams taking the ball under center, split backs, 2 wideouts from their own 9. Our first and goal of the day. Looks to the right, throws the ball just a little behind the receiver. There was actually 2 guys there, so it could have been for either of them.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's behind him, okay, but that'd be a nice one to catch. It was a little behind, but
I think he threw it that way because he had a defender kind of in front of him. If the back shoulder throw, but if your momentum's going the opposite direction, it's hard to turn and make that catch. Got some issues with the shoe tying here. This is the second time he's been down trying to get his shoes all tied up and ready to go. Williams coming back from the sideline after getting some plays called, I'm sure.
Yeah, he took a pounding last week. It seems like possibly they've shored up their blocking a little bit, but that guy, he just keeps coming back. He just stands in there and keeps coming back. Took some shots, took a couple of headshots last week that I had an issue with, and he's just out there pounding away.
Williams set to take the snap. Looks back, looks to his left. Got a man, pump fake, goes up the middle, gets to the 3, to the 2. He's getting swallowed up and gets taken down about the 1.5 yard line.
Let's see that again. Was that called? I think he just saw a gap. I think he was going to throw the ball. I don't think that was a...
It's a great camera angle for this, too, actually.
Oh, run that one more time. Look at the to the top, to the left of the formation, to the left of the screen, to the left of the offense, number 8. Watch number 8 come in and get completely faked out. Bryce is back. He looks, fakes him. The number 8 actually turned to run to the ball.
That's
Good
right.
hustle. Good hustle, number 8, turning when the ball's thrown, but... that was one heck of a thing. That could make the highlight film.
All right, we're going to line up 3rd down and goal from the left hash mark at the top of your screen, going left to right from the 2 yard line. Let's see what the Hurricanes have drawn up for this goal line play. Williams takes the ball, runs out to his right, runs an option, throws it out. Dijonay gets it, gets to the 1, touchdown, Hurricanes.
There you go. That was sweet, too. We haven't seen much option, so he doesn't have a lot of experience at it, but look at the pitch. It's right on. And now, what do we always say when there's a big run? You don't see him now, but to the right of your screen, there's got to be someone blocking right there. Run that again if you can. Boy, that, I tell you what, now that, if you're talking about how an offensive wide receiver should block to make a big play, you can give credit on that. To the right of your screen, he's not in focus, he's not in the screen yet. There he is, look at that, right? That gives you the touchdown. There you go.
Williams threw that little shovel pass at the very last moment, which is exactly how that option works the best.
Yeah.
You have to make the defender commit to you before you toss that ball out to the outside.
Yeah, that's the idea of the option, because you don't block those people out there. And that's the reason you like to run the option, is that allows you to double down inside. You get you better block it inside, but that means you do, as you mentioned there, Ray, you got to draw the defender to you before you pitch it, and that, in essence, is how you block them.
Hurricanes line up for the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good.
That's good.
So that brings our score
There we
to
go.
Hurricanes 7, Pitbulls 6. Now, this could come into play later throughout the game, as seeing that the extra points are very doable with the nice, easy PATs from the Hurricanes, whereas the Pitbulls doesn't look like they're going to be trying to kick many of these extra point attempts. So they're going to be trying to go for 2. If the Hurricanes can stop them, then that's going to make it so that they're going to get a 1-point lead every time if they're trading scores back and forth.
Well, I'm not real good at math, but I'll take you on that. Huh? So every time you trade a score, you gain a point. That's a pretty good deal. And getting back to what you were saying earlier, as far as the kicker, number 22, great athlete out there for the Pitbulls. It doesn't seem he's actually the kicker, whereas our guy, again, reiterating what I stated earlier, what I was told, old Nick Rhodes, he says he can hit it from 50, not from 50 yards, but a field goal of 50 yards. And that could be a big difference, more than just a point a game. I mean, a point a touchdown, right? I mean, if we get anywhere near field goal position, well, I feel pretty confident that we can add those 3 points. And 3 here, 3 there, they add up.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
These beautiful instant replays are brought to you by Northwest Athletics Apparel, providing quality and affordable team uniforms for youths as well as adults, specializing in bulk orders from team apparel such as gloves, hats, compression gear, and shirts. Can match various styles and looks or work in-house to customize something specific for your team or person ordering. To find out more, visit them on the web at nwaa.biz or email them at nwaaapparel@gmail.com. That goes to what you were saying earlier, how the customer service is great with this company. They can actually, help you build what you're looking for specifically. You present them your ideas, they'll throw back some of their own, and then you'll come up with a great idea and a great uniform for your team. Hurricane set to kick off. Nice kick, low but deep, gets received at the 10-yard line, waiting for his blockers to form up. Breaks out to his left, he's got some space. Getting drug out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. And that's Jaron Jones on the return. He's all over the place.
Yeah. Kicking the ball, defensive end, star running back.
I didn't see him out on that last defensive set as a defensive end, but he might have been in a few plays, and when I looked for him, he wasn't quite there.
Well, I was saying he plays defensive end just because that's what the coach told me. I did not actually see him out there. But you know what? I feel confident that at some point we will see 22 coming off the edge. Hey, you know what you're talking about too there, Ray, is that you're going to buy uniforms. Where are you going to go? You see what Oregon wears. You go with the national brands. That's what you would accept. In fact, the kids, if you have a youth league, you think, oh, this is so cool. I'm wearing what the New York Jets wear, right? But you know what? They're not going to come. That company's not going to come and really work with you the way NWAA does.
Pitbulls working on getting the helmet for number 4 all fixed up and ready to go.
So they got trips to the top, so they're looking like they might be doing some.
Lots of movement on the defensive line. We've had some, looks like they're pointing out movement on the offensive line. Throws it to the flat. Got a man, makes the catch, and a great tackle at the 34-yard line. Steps up and makes a great tackle. It's Thomas Dejanay. We've seen him all over the field. He scored that touchdown on that last drive, and he's out there playing defense as well.
That is one of the great things about this league is that you do get to see people play both ways, play on offense and defense.
It's like the battle of number 22s on both teams at this point.
You know, that's how we could promote this, the battle of 22.
Everybody wants to be Emmitt Smith.
22s.
4 wide receivers, shotgun set, 1 back behind the quarterback. Looks to the left, got a man on a slat, and ball gets knocked out. That's a great play by Shane DeChantel.
That is a great play right there. He sticks his hand in there and rips the ball out. He has enough concentration. Now watch him reach around and grab the ball. Look at that, grab the hand away from the ball. That's really good concentration. That wasn't an accident. He saw where the ball was. He saw which arm literally was cradling the ball, and he specifically targeted that arm and pulled it away from the ball. That was a sweet play.
This is going to bring up 3rd down and about 9 yards to go. I'm sorry, 3rd down and about 11 yards to go. 4 wide receivers, 1 back. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to his right, throws it, got a man wide of his target. Number 4, the intended receiver. It's going to bring up 4th down.
That was a well-designed play, actually. The fake inside to hold the rush. It was a pretty good fake, and then the receiver was actually open there to the top. But the problem is sometimes when you're going to go through the fakes, and again, this is the backup quarterback, when you're going to go through the fakes, sometimes that can throw off your timing.
Yeah, it looks as though they've kind of dumbed down the offense a little bit. From my perspective, it seems that they're just kind of set to receive the ball right in his shotgun stance, not take a step back, just look and throw to the guy that he's intending to receive the ball. Which is a little bit easier for a quarterback that's relatively new to playing as the starter.
Yeah, old Kyron Carlson is his name. He's doing a pretty good job.
Looks like the Pitbulls are set to punt the ball. And it is not 22 back to punt the ball for them.
Well, I guess you can dream. Bad snap.
High punt goes out to about the 50-yard line. Grabs the ball and goes down about the 48-yard line.
Appreciate the enthusiasm. I'm not sure that's exactly what you want to do of the receiving team, because if you touch it and the ball falls out, it's not a fumble. It's called a muff, but it's still a free ball. So enjoy the enthusiasm and the willingness to get involved. Not quite sure I would want a punt returner to pick that particular ball up.
Yeah, you kind of just want to leave well enough alone at sometimes when it comes to that particular style of.
Well, we've talked about this before, because the Hurricanes, they have two people back, one deep and one halfway deep, and that's I've talked about this before. Is that I like to catch every punt. I mean, because if it hits the ball, if it hits the ground, it almost rolls the other way. In that particular punt, it was so short that a few extra rolls would be all right.
Are you serious?
It's going to be 1st and 10. Hurricanes lining up, setting up to start their offensive drive here from the 50-yard line.
A lot of people in the box.
Got some movement from bottom of your screen to the top. Multiple blockers out front. Give it off to, looks like the fullback there. Gets down about the 43-yard line.
He took a shot there.
He did. He's still down.
Yeah, that was interesting. If we'll run the beginning, if we can run that again, watch the wing to the bottom of your screen, right of the formation. He comes all the way inside and turns it up and blocks the guy, knocks him off the ball. That was a good, clean hit. That's the problem there is the running back, if you saw, he was going down. And that when you don't have your feet underneath you, you absorb the hit. That's one of those things. And, in fact, when the younger players, when you're getting involved, you see the hit coming, you want to accelerate the last couple of steps into the hit. Now, in this case, he had stumbled, so it wasn't that he didn't accelerate. He was going down, but that's what happens when you don't have your feet under you and driving, then you take the blunt of the blow. And again, the last thing I want to say, too, is just as far as the younger guys out there watching this, right before contact, you always want to accelerate in. You always want to accelerate into it, because then that puts the force, it's a force vector, that puts the vector into the defender, and you don't end up taking the hit like he did on that one.
Yeah, that's some great advice, Randall. It is when you're, especially in the younger levels, and you're about to absorb an impact from a hit, it's hard to not just fall and kind of try to protect yourself.
Take it, yeah.
You're actually supposed to initiate the hit yourself. That way you can alleviate some of the pressure from it overall.
Even just the last step. Nice run, though. Look at this. Second
and 3.
If it was 2nd and 1, I'd say go throw the pass to the end zone.
Same play,
Yeah.
except to the halfback this time. He gets out to the 30, breaks the guts of the blocker. That's a great tackle at the 21-yard line. What a run. Bounces left, comes back in, bounces left again.
That was a nice run, and look at, they seen the wing in and turns him. We didn't see that in the beginning, but now one of the things is
Nice stiff arm.
Yeah.
Cuts back up the middle. There's a big tackle there.
That was
Kate Johnson on the tackle.
And it's like what we were talking about. The running back wants to accelerate onto the contact. That's, again, the exact same thing, but opposite. People miss this sometimes. The defensive guy wants to hit through the running back, hit through the person you're hitting. So it's not so much you accelerate into, but you look at where you're hitting and you actually hit through to a place a little bit behind where you're going to make contact with the player.
1st and 10, hand off to the back, little toss out. Gets down about the 20-yard line, gets just about a yard on the play.
Yeah, I see some positive attitudes there on the guys in the powder blue jerseys.
About
Would that
25 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I want to just say that, finish this up on when you're making the tackle, you're coming up, you want to be under control, right? But as you hit into the running back, you're going to hit him right here, hit him through here to a little bit back there. That's always a little thing that's always a technique that will add a little bit of momentum to the hit.
Well, that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Northwest Hurricanes 7, Washington County Pitbulls 6. So it's a lot better progress for their offense this game versus last game. They seem to be working very well with each other, setting up the blocks properly, getting the runs to where they need to go. Dijonette has been all over the field. He has been on kick returns, punt returns, and running the ball very effectively in the backfield. They've got a good game plan so far drawn up. We'll see what kind of adjustments are made between the two teams in order to negate each other's progress.
Yeah, I mean the question is which team is 5-2 and which team is 1-5 or 1-4.
Very good point. Very good point.
You wouldn't tell that. This is good. This is good. This is a good start off. And you know, it's like Ray, as you pointed out last week. Last week the Hurricanes, they seemed to be moving, and then it was turnovers, 3 turnovers. A pick 6 called back because of a bad offsides call by the official. Same thing happened here. They were moving the ball. They've been moving the ball, getting yards, but then all of a sudden they make some mistakes. What was it? At one point, 3rd and 30. So it's kind of the same deal. As long as they just keep playing within themselves, methodically, moving on, matriculating the ball down the field,
nice
as people have said before. Then
That's a Chris Berman thing, isn't it?
No, that actually was from the Kansas City Chiefs. It was the third Super Bowl that the AFC actually went out and won. Hank Stram was the coach on the sidelines. They had him mic'd up, and that was his turn.
Well, 2nd and 7. Now they've switched sides on the field here. 4 wide, running back moved into the slot, the lower part of your screen. Williams set to take the snap.
Coming up the middle. They picked him up
Looks
this time.
to the left, rolling out to his left. Little stutter step and throws it out, and it's incomplete. Tried to put it where only the receiver could catch the ball.
Oh yeah, and he had to stop. He didn't really get a chance to step into the throw. He had to stop. He's about to get hit. But I tell you what. Okay, the good thing here. They showed pressure inside. We picked it up. And so that, and if we keep doing that, if they show pressure inside and we're able to pick it up, then the quarterback will not have to roll away from pressure as much. He won't have to roll out because, Ray, as you pointed out so astutely, one of those plays before, we didn't have pressure up the middle. He rolled out, and it was the defensive end was just in his regular contain rush that gave him some problems. So if we keep picking them up inside, I think things are going to really start working our way.
All right, 3rd down and 8. Deep in the Pitbulls territory. Williams set to take the snap. Got 4 wide receivers, 1 back. Looks to his left, takes the snap, looks to his left again, steps up, has nobody, gets drawn down about the 21-yard line. It's going to be a loss of about a yard on the play.
Yeah, not bad protection. He had time, and that's what you want. That's what you look for. He stepped up, as you said, Ray. And what that means is that the outside rushers have been pushed out, and that they're still solid enough in the middle that there's somewhere to step up. He had enough time there, and then all of a sudden he ran out of time.
So with that loss, it's going to set him back only about a yard, which is nice, so that he can get a little bit better range on the field goal attempt that I'm assuming that they're going to try here. You said he was good as far as 50 yards. Let's see what he's got today.
I did not specifically say he was good at 50 yards. He said he was.
My bad.
Oh, yeah. This is I like how this is working out.
It's going to be about a 40-yard kick. Takes the snap. It's down. Kick is up. It's got the distance. It's just a little bit wide right. Now, he probably compensated because he was on the far left hash mark when he was taking that kick, so he was trying to get it to the right further, and he just overshot it just a bit.
Yeah, and that is a good point. You pointed out the difference. On a field goal, you snap the ball where the last play ended. You don't get a chance to move it from hash mark to hash mark. On extra points, you do. And he would have. That's why sometimes you'll see, like for the game-winning field goal, they'll take the ball, and the quarterback will just run to the middle of the field and fall down. That's to line it up straight down the. What am I looking for? Pike. Right straight down the pike. That's the word I really wasn't looking for, but that's the point.
Yeah, it's interesting to see some place kickers. They actually like it on either the left or the right hash mark.
They absolutely do. Yeah.
Just depending on most left-legged kickers, if you will take it from the left hash mark so they can kind of hook it right in there.
I did not know that. I didn't know there were left-footed kickers.
There's very few of them at a professional level anyway. So the Pitbulls will take the ball over here. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
I wish there were more left-footed kickers, actually. I'm not sure why, but it would be interesting. All right, here we go.
As we get organized here. Three wide, one back, shotgun set from their own 20-yard line. 1st down and 10.
Takes off the right side.
Hands the ball off to the left. They got pressure in the backfield. Swallow him up, take him down about the 18-yard line. That's going to be a loss of about 2 yards.
Can you get that number? That was, is that 53, 52? But anyway, the linebacker, he was showing blitz. I don't know what it was called. Maybe he just read it. But the person that made that tackle in the backfield was the person that was showing blitz off of the right-hand side. He just zipped right in there. He's in the backfield about the same time the running back is.
Yeah, it looked like they had a great edge rush on both sides of the ball, and they came in, they met up with the running back as soon as he got the ball handed off to him. And that's kind of one of the things when you're, in shotgun set and you're handing the ball off. They're getting the ball so deep with no momentum that it's a little bit more difficult to get started on those plays. Oh, same set here. 3 wide shotgun. 2nd down and about 12. Hands the ball off to the right side. Tries to cut back. Gets swallowed up again. They're going to be taking him down about the 16-yard line. A loss of 4 on the play.
That play before, it was number 50, Shane Shoup. It was a heck of a play. But run that one again. Watch number 20 out here on the edge. Watch him be smart. He takes the blocker on that down here to the bottom of the screen to the left. Take the blocker on. He stays solid. Then he kicks back out. Stays solid. Takes the blocker on again. See that? He set the edge. You set the edge by playing it smart like he did. Took the guy on. He didn't just run upfield. In which case the running back could have cut in inside of him. Yeah, that was a real good defensive play there. Take the guy on, be solid, move with him, move inside, move back outside. Good play, number 20.
Yeah, number 20 is Percy Etheridge, and he was also part of the last play that was a loss of yards there.
Percy Etheridge.
4 wide set this time. 1 back.
Show him
shotgun.
To the middle.
Takes a snap, looks to his left, got some major pressure coming his way, but did not feel it, and makes a nice completion up to about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, he sure did stay in there, didn't he? Stayed in there, was calm and collective. The receiver just a bit open down here up to the right of your screen.
It's going to get 3rd down and kind of manageable at this point. It's going to be 3rd down about 6 yards. Oh, I'm sorry, 4th down. About 6 yards. That was a big play. He had the defender bearing down on him from the bottom side of the screen there. He was coming full head of steam and no blocker in front of him.
We got some extracurricular activity going on among teammates. Number 76 is heading to the sidelines over there. He's about to have the word with someone.
He's a big man. I wouldn't want to get in his way.
Yeah, that's why I'm up here. That's why I'm talking like that, because I'm up here in the booth. He'd have to run up the stairs.
He'd just run back down him again.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, that's if you're the Hurricanes, that's kind of what you want to see the opposing team doing. There's the punt.
Shane DeChantel back to receive. Grabs the ball and gets hit and taken down about the 46-yard line.
Yeah, you know what? That's it. It was going to lose more yards, and one of the things you say is that for every 10 yards the ball rolls on a punt, that's another set of downs. And you know what? Keeping a drive alive, one set after the next set after the next set of downs is tough. So in that case, he was able to field it, took it, and you know what? I think that was the right move. A little risky because they were bearing down on him, but he had enough time to really get the ball, get a hold of it, and take a few steps.
Yeah, that's Taj Perry on the return there. He's listed as a tight end and a linebacker, so he's got pretty good hands, I would assume. So grabbing that ball was probably kept them about 10 or 15 yards ahead after those bounces started happening.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was the tight end linebacker. That's the type of guy that can catch the ball when there's people around you when they're coming at you.
So the Hurricanes will take over the ball on the 47-yard line, heading from right to left on your screen. 4 wide, 1 back set. Williams set to start this drive. Good field position. Takes the snap. Hands the ball off to the back. Goes up to the left. Big hit. Gain of about 2 yards on the play. Dropped his shoulder, and so did the defense. And
Yeah, that's where the to the bottom of your screen, the Pitbull defensive end on the right defensive end, bottom of the screen, shot upfield, took off upfield. They handed it off inside. He was able to cut underneath and then turn it up to gain some nice yards.
that was Jason Cephas on the tackle. Listed 6'2", 225. He used all of it to stop that play from going any further.
You know, you're talking about how that when you come out of the shotgun, I thought they gained a lot more yards than just 2, but that's because you start 5 or 6 yards deep.
Exactly. We're going to line up on second down and 8 to go. Williams set to take the snap. 4 wide. Hands the ball off. Bounces to the outside, gets up to the 50, gets taken down about the 46-yard line. It's a nice gain on the play, about 4 or 5 yards.
And run that again if you could, Chip there. Watch. We were talking about this earlier. Watch right at the end. Now, nice move. Cuts inside of the outside of the contain rush. Now, right at the very end, watch this acceleration. There, right there. See? Now, one of the things you see rolling up onto his the receiver blocking downfield, you want to be alert of that. If you're running and you come up behind the receiver who's blocking, that's a special deal. A receiver that blocks downfield, you want to take a little more caution to not run into the back of your receiver. That's called rolling him up.
That's Thomas Dejanay on the cover or on the carry. Pretty slippery when he gets in those situations where he looks like he's going to get taken down. All of a sudden, a couple more yards come out.
He's got time.
Throws
going
it deep down the middle. Oh, looks like the defense and offense all elevated just a second too early on that.
Well, Bryce, I mean, I tell you what, he's got backbone on it, they would say. I mean, that was double coverage, and he just put it in there, and he was saying, receiver, go get it.
It was a good toss downfield. It was about a 25, 30-yard pass itself.
Receiver he went after it.
It's pretty close. That was Taj Perry on the attempted reception.
And so some of the play choices, the way they've been setting things up, have helped to neutralize the rush. When you neutralize the rush, when you're picking them up inside, and you're able to run screens and some of the draws they've been running, when you slow down the rush, that gives you the chance to go deep, because it takes, obviously, longer for the receiver to run 30 yards downfield. Quarterback has to stay in the pocket longer, and there we're seeing the fruits of the play calls earlier to negate the blitz.
4th down and 4, going for it. Williams set to take the snap.
Just bringing 4.
Fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, got some space, going to need to make a move. Gets drawn out of bounds about the 43-yard line, 44-yard line.
That's going to be close.
It's not quite enough to get the first down on that play.
Well, you see when Bryce comes running back towards the middle of the field, he was running where it clearly was a first down, but apparently he went upfield a little bit after he got up.
If you watch this replay, watch number 22, Jaron Jones, come from the middle as a bullet rocket out of the left of your screen.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bearing down on him, and that's basically what stops the play from going any further. He looked like he had plenty of space, and Jones was just in there.
Yeah, one of the things I saw him flying over there, and I was kind of worried because I thought there might be one heck of a hit, but he took the slightly wrong angle. He got a little deep, and that's a common thing to happen as you're running after the person and you think you're going to get them. So you usually want to flatten out just a step or two. In which case, because he came in behind him and made the play. You're right, absolutely made the big play, but he didn't deliver the big hit as we know he is capable of doing.
Yeah, he might have underestimated the speed of Williams, too, on
that's true.
The outside.
That's an official's timeout. And now time in.
So Pitbulls will take over on their own 45-yard line. 1st down and 10. 3 wide, 1 back. Shotgun set. Hands the ball off to the back. Running out to his right. Great blocking on the outside.
Great blocking.
Gets bumped and taken down on the outside about the 41-yard line. That was quite a run there.
Let's see that again. One thing, the primary run contain got beat. He was inside or something. There's supposed to be a primary guy out there. But again, look at the receivers blocking. Look at that right there. That is just good. The two receivers, the running back was able to split the two receivers and gain another 15. Let's see if we can run that one more time just so that receivers see how important, not that you don't know this, but here he comes. Coming to the outside. We shouldn't have lost the edge there, but look at those two guys right there, the two guys for the Pitbulls. Blocking, he's able to split it, and that adds 15. That was a big, at least 15 yards that was added because you have two wide receivers downfield getting into it with the defensive backs.
1st and 10 from the Hurricanes' 41-yard line after that big run. 3 wide, 1 back.
Time for a big stop. Showing blitz in the middle.
Hands the ball off up the middle. Makes a man miss in the backfield and gets taken down about the 34-yard line.
There you
spot him with 33.
And there you see our big number 50, the middle linebacker. He's showing blitz. He blitzed, and then the running back hit off. Let's see if we can see that one more time. The running back hit one hole to the right of the blitz, and that's the problem with blitzing. 59 wheels on him, blocks him down inside, and the running back breaks right out from where the linebacker was blitzing.
It was good pursuit from the back to make that tackle. It was Taj Perry on the tackle. 2nd down and 2. Same set. Takes the snap, hands the ball off to the left this time. Got a seam. Tries to jump over a man and gets hauled down about the 29-yard line. That looks like it's going to be good for a 1st down.
I tell you what, it's a tale of a couple of games. We did the first game. Unfortunately, Ray, you weren't there, but they just were not competitive in the first half. The second half, they came back, but it was like 50-0 at halftime. It's completely different, this game. I got caught there. I was trying to figure out what the officials were doing because it was almost an attempted flight. Yeah, so playing with enthusiasm, even though right now the Pitbulls are moving the ball, I like how the Hurricanes are rallying to the ball.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, using his running back as a blocker out to the side. Got a little bit of space and gets taken down about the 35-yard line. Or I'm sorry, the 25-yard line. That's going to be good for a 1st down. There is, however, a penalty flag on the play.
Let's see
back
that.
at the 30-yard line.
Sorry, Ray. Let's see that one again. You know what? I'm going to quit saying this, but to the right of your screen, bottom of the formation, you got another receiver out there blocking. Good lead back. Good straight. Look at that right there. Right there. I mean, that gives them an extra 5-10 yards. However, that could have been holding.
Looks like they're backing the ball up 10 yards. It's going to be a hold against the offense. If you look in that replay, you'd see the
at the end,
offensive lineman has a big 75 as a hold of that shoulder pad right in there. I don't know if that's what they called, but I didn't see anything other than that kind of looked like it.
I don't think that was. I think that was a pretty good reach out there on the.
He let go as he got by him, so I mean that's generally not a hold.
The rule is let go.
Yeah.
Well, the rule is don't hold, but you know what I'm going.
So bring up 1st and 20. Takes a snap,
Oh,
drops
good
back
gosh.
4 steps, throws it out, and received by number 16. He's got plenty of space in that screen. It looked like it went to the wrong man.
Oh, I definitely went to the wrong
Went out
guy.
to the 25-yard line on that gain.
Let's see that again. That was one heck of a. See, that's to slow down the blitz. Right? That's a screen pass. They let the the offensive line will hit their guy one time and then go, oh, Shizen. I actually used to have players that would do that. They'd yell, oh, Shizen. And that would convince the defense that that they just got beat, and then they'd run the quick screen there. See, everyone gets through? There you go. You know, that reminds me of a play years ago.
2nd down and 5. 3 wide. Shotgun set. I feel like I say that a lot, Randall.
You ever hear? Go ahead.
Rolls out to his right a bit. Got a man on the flat. Incomplete pass.
It was behind him. That's number 16 that had great hands the last play when the ball wasn't intended for him. It's tough to do, too. It doesn't look like that hard of a catch, but in that case where you're really trying to turn around to catch the ball, it can be difficult. However, he made a great catch the play before.
Yeah, it was Matt Huddyberg, intended receiver on the play. After that last catch, it was very nice. This will bring up 3rd down and about 5 yards to go here. Knocking on the door of the Hurricanes. Hurricanes defense trying to make a good stand here and get this ball turned over, or just hold them here to what, maybe a field goal?
They can't kick a field goal, though.
That's kind of what I said. Maybe.
I missed the maybe.
Showing pressure. Throws it to the left. Got a guy on the sidelines. Makes a and he drops the ball. It looked like he pulled it in.
Doesn't matter. It's coming back. The offensive tackle down here to the bottom grabbed the guy, threw him. It was like Greco-Roman wrestling where you have to stay on your feet and throw him. Clearly was illegal use of hands. So even if he caught it, I guess this is kind of a negative thing, but I kind of wished he'd caught it because that would bug him even more. These offensive linemen holding. Come on.
Yeah, I saw the defenseman coming through the line and just flying like he had wings, but apparently he had a liftoff from the opposing team's offensive lineman there.
Yeah, and this is one of those things where, I mean, I don't know that you fault the offensive line. Well, you do. You can't get beat inside, right? That's the thing. That's the number one rule. You can't get beat inside as an offensive lineman. But in that case, you know what? Take the chance, grab them.
So they're going to back him up 10 yards on that play. Repeat the down. Be 3rd down from the Hurricanes' 38-yard line.
Wow, what a different complexion now on the next play.
The 20-yard line is the line to gain, so it's about 18 yards for a 1st down. I go from a nice pass to the sideline there into the end zone, almost caught, to backing it up to out of range, basically. There's not a lot of plays in the playbook for this distance.
No, it doesn't look like the Hurricane are going to bring much pressure. Just the 4, that's all they need. They got contained.
And the completed pass right up the middle gets taken down real close to that 1st down marker. We'll see where they spot it.
There's a flag down there, and when you got 3 defenders around one receiver, you often think it's going to be against the defenders.
Yeah, it's Matt Huddyberg on the reception.
Breaks inside. He broke free pretty quick. Got free right away.
I didn't exactly see where the penalty came in there. But
well, pass interference. You run that again. You see that the defender has black armband, or hand pads, or black sleeves, and look at the white jersey right there. See the black on the white jersey? See, that's a mistake. Now, BYU, in the old days, because they're big, young cheaters, they used to change the colors of their gloves.
Cheaters doesn't start with a U.
I know. I was trying to come up with one, but I just couldn't. I was there. I was going for it, but a big, young, you guys. So anyway, they used to change their offensive line gloves, change it to the color of the defense they were playing. They act all holier than thou, but they legally cheat. But they would do that every game. They had different color gloves depending on the team they were playing.
So it's going to be 1st down and 10 from their Hurricanes 19. Let's get the chain set up here.
The NC2A actually changed the rule to make that illegal because of Brigham Young University. Now, I had a friend.
Going to bring us to the 2-minute warning here.
I was about to say I had a friend, but then Ray looked at me. You don't have any friends. But I played in junior college with a guy, Mike Young, that went and played at Brigham Young University. And he told me how before the season they walked in their entire...
Hey, looking to make waves on game day? Well, Northwest Athletics Apparel has everything that youth or adult team might need to do just that, with affordable uniforms from team gloves to team hats and shirts, just to name a few. Before you take the field on game day, search Northwest Athletics Apparel on Facebook and let them help you start your season off right. Northwest Athletics Apparel, a proud sponsor of this week's game, right here on cgame.live.
Bryce Williams, quarterback and owner of NWAA. We love them. Hey, you know what? I wonder, do you think Northwest Athletics Apparel, do you think they could give you gloves that match, different gloves that matches the color of every team you play against?
Oh, without a doubt, they could do that.
Could.
I don't think that's a rule against this,
Yeah, it is.
something that's against the rules of this league, is it?
Oh no, not in this league. You're
Yeah.
right. And we just made some sales for Northwest Athletics Apparel. That's right. They're going to triple the glove sales next week.
That's NWA apparel at gmail.com or www.nwaa.biz. Northwest Athletics Apparel. 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
This would be a big stop. I mean,
Pitbulls knocking on the door here.
yeah, if we can hold them on this series.
Right, still on the clock, right? Yeah.
Takes the snap, hands it off to the back on the outside. He's going all the way to the outside
Yeah.
and gets taken down for about a 2-yard loss on the play.
And we've called number 20's number a few times. Run that one more time, right? Or if you would, because now watch how smart he is. He widens, he comes upfield, right? He's going to get some depth to get the guy in the backfield, but then he breaks down. There he is to the right of your screen, breaks down, runs laterals, smart, feet underneath, under control, hits the guy and stops him right there. That's good athletic play and smart too. You know, I mentioned this before. Lots of times people will take the wrong angle because they want to get upfield. They want to tackle the guy in the backfield. He got upfield a little bit to close down the distance and then moved laterally, freezing the guy in front of him to keep him square in his body. That was good defensive play.
Number 20, Percy Etheridge, has been involved in a lot of plays, whether he's making the tackle or not. He's redirecting the offense and getting him to go the way they wants to. Takes a snap, throws it over the middle, got a man, makes the catch, and gets taken down at the 5-yard line. It's going to be good enough for a first down. It's going to bring up first and goal for the Pitbulls.
That's where quite often you will have the defensive back. Let's see that again. I wonder where he lined up, because usually you'll have the defensive back. He'll tend to maybe to be a little bit outside because you're worried about dropping out into the corner of the end zone. As you get down closer and closer to the end zone, you got to play a little more inside, because if they quick move inside, a 20-yard inside move is a touchdown.
First and goal from about the 4-yard line here. Now the Pitbulls really knocking at the door.
Yeah.
Only 23 seconds left in the first half.
This would be
See if they can stuff them here and get into the second half.
It'd be a big stop if they can
Hands
do
the
this.
ball off, bounces out to his left, got some room, makes some space. Big hit, and still gets in for the touchdown.
I'm looking
Touchdown, Pitbulls.
Okay, that is a touchdown. I'm looking for a
That's
flag
Darren
there.
Bolivar on the carry.
Let's run that again to the left of your screen on the edge. They're blocking on the edge. Here's the receiver comes down. Well, I guess I was being a homer because that was a pretty good play. I saw his arms extended, and I saw the jersey go up like that, but that was a good play. It's good when the officials don't make the wrong call, obviously, but lots of times it's better if you're not sure, don't make the call. And that's one of those things where I was about to complain a little bit, and the official was right. It was smart no call.
This isn't worldwide football, soccer, I mean, where they actually call the penalty and then review it and then take it away if it's not actually a penalty.
I had no knowledge that that was a rule in soccer.
They're going for 2 here. From the hash mark at the top of your screen. Takes the snap, looks left.
Up in the
Little fade route. Throws it. Complete for a 2-point conversion.
And you know what? That's exactly what I was talking about, how when you're out in the field, you're worried about that move, a deep pass to the corner of the end zone, so you'll tend to play inside a little more. In that position, when you get down there close to the goal line, the offense is close to the goal line, the defense has to line up inside because that quick slant is a touchdown. And I'm glad they did that, because that proves the problem with what I was saying. If you start moving inside, you give that corner of the end zone.
And that's going to bring the score of today's game so far. Pitbulls 14, Hurricanes 7. With just seconds left to go here in the first half, 10.5 to be exact. The Hurricanes will receive a kick from the Pitbulls. Try to get some good field position, possibly get in and get a field goal out of this.
Yeah, if you come up with a field goal, that would be big. That would be big. Or how about, return it for a touchdown.
Pitbulls will be receiving the kickoff after the half.
You know, it's funny, you brought up soccer. I used to have a roommate, he was English. Turns out, I didn't realize this, but when you have cable TV, there's actually soccer on all the time. So I started watching soccer. And this one time, this guy was out there and he falls down and he's rolling on the ground. He's in pain. And a lady runs out in a dress with a big red cross on her shirt. And then they ran out with a stretcher. And then all of a sudden, the guy just jumped up and ran back into the place. So that's my memory of soccer.
Yeah, soccer's an interesting sport.
This isn't being broadcast in England, is it?
It's worldwide, my friend. Worldwide.
And what's the number one sport in the world?
That would be soccer.
I love
Kick
football.
off low but deep this time. Caught at the about 10-yard line, running out to his left. Got some space.
Hit the speed, cut inside.
Oh, and he gets tripped up by his own feet and dropped at the 43-yard line.
There is just one
That'll bring us to the end of the first half.
There's one piece of field turf out there that's an inch. Uh-oh. Yeah, he just lost his balance. That's too bad.
Yeah,
See, look at that guy tripped over too. I'm telling you, there's a piece of field turf out there that's a little longer than all the other pieces.
Yeah, that's Shane DeChotel on the return there. He did exactly what he needed. He played it up a little bit further when he received the kick because of the last kick being so short that he decided that it was that he was going to move up a little bit, and then he had to run back to receive the ball, and then he still made a good return there. He broke to the left and saw a little seam, and he saw daylight, but his mind was moving faster than his feet were and got tripped up by his own feet.
Oh, that's a good point because he had to jump up and grab that ball, right? Because you're right, he was up a little closer because they've had some problems with kickoffs, so getting depth on the kicks, and if it had gone over his head, that's a free ball. I mean, that's a live ball. That'd be a heck of a turnaround. 10 seconds to go and have them score again. That would be 2 touchdowns in like 3 seconds.
Looks like they're going to put 2.5 seconds back on the board. So the Hurricanes will get one play here before the half. Going to be starting from their own 43-yard line. You see him just going into the half here, Randall, or you see him trying to make a play?
Well, that's, I could see that. But, just knowing Bryce, you know what? I think they're going for it. You're down. I agree with this. Go for it, unless it doesn't turn out well. But, I mean, it's 60 yards to the end zone. Can he throw the ball that far?
He'll throw an intermediate pass, and he throws it deep. Down to the left side of the field.
Yeah!
It's picked off.
Right, it doesn't matter, but yeah.
It doesn't matter at all.
Oh, but I tell you what, that looks so good. Oh, it's a fumble. He's running in.
And it looks like there's been a little turn of events there. They were thinking that he caught the ball, wasn't down by contact, dropped the ball, picked the ball up, and run it down the sideline for a touchdown. We'll see what the referees have to say about this play here in a second.
I may never have seen that one again. Well, we'll find out here because I actually talked to the officials before the game, and they say this is pro rules as far as when you're down. Oh, no, the defender got the ball.
Yes.
Oh, this is amazing. Is there a chance to see it again?
Let's take one more look here.
So what happened was...
Looks like it's an interception here.
Right.
And he went down...
And then
got back up and just let go of the ball.
Yes.
The question is whether they call it down by contact, because there's definitely contact on that play. Completes the pass all the way down.
Unless he grabs the ball off of the chest before the guy got up. Incomplete.
And that'll bring us to the end of the first half of football here.
Let's see that one more time just to check that out. Because here's the thing. If he goes down, the ball bounces off his chest. The ball bounces off his chest, and then the receiver picks it up. Doesn't matter if he's down by contact or not. Well, no, he had the ball. Okay, so if the ball, so he was down by contact. Good call.
So that brings us to the end of the first half. The Northwest Hurricanes down by 7 here, 14-7 Pitbull advantage. They played pretty well overall in the first half. I think that ultimately, that they are doing what they need to do in order to win this game. They just need to shore up a little bit. The running game got a little out of hand for them in the first half, and they made some. The Pitbulls broke out some pretty big runs with Jones there. He was all over the field. Yeah, I think we got an exciting second half of football coming up here.
Yeah, I sure do. I'm excited about it. If you've been watching these games, 3 games ago when we were doing the Hurricanes, there was a completely different team, and they were just getting hammered 50-0 at halftime. What a beautiful mountain. And then last game, they were in it. Actually, the second half of the first game we did, when they were down 50-0 at halftime, they won the second half, whatever that means, 6-7. But since then, they keep getting better and better. Every game, they play better. Last game, they were in it until you mentioned it, 3 turnovers, bad call on the officials. In this game, they had the lead for a while. That's one of the first times we've seen them with the lead. So I'm fired up, ready to go. I'm wondering, it's going to be kind of interesting now. There were some things going on, a fracas going on the sidelines of the Pitbulls. It's going to be interesting now what you do. I mean, that happens, right? That happens in football. I don't know if it goes to that extreme, but that happens. It's an emotional game. It's a physical game. The question is, do you just say, okay, that's it, it's over, let's go back out and play? So that's going to be kind of interesting. If the Pitbulls come out with the enthusiasm and the team attitude, then it'll be a good second half. And everything I've seen from the Hurricanes is positive. Right, everything except the things that weren't positive, right? A couple of turnovers, some penalties. Other than that, I think we're in good shape for the second half.
Well, the nice thing about any sport, especially football, with the halftime, is that they actually go in and they make major adjustments to their teams in order to perform better in the second half to kind of compensate for what they saw. Maybe they didn't anticipate certain plays or certain actions when they came into the game initially, but after they get back to the drawing board in the second half, the coaches are kind of obligated to come up with a better scheme in order to continue progressing in the game, allowing them to get better field position, run the ball more effectively, complete passes, get first downs, and ultimately score touchdowns.
Right. That's actually a key point, is that this is something that is often missed in coaching. It's that ability to make adjustments. And that second half, and unfortunately along those lines, is the head coach for the Hurricanes is still out there discussing it with the officials. Of course, the assistant, in my opinion, the assistant coaches always do the most work anyway. So that is a big thing. Will we make the adjustments that need to be made? This team has shown the ability to adjust on the fly, so to speak. Last week, when they were just hammering us with those blitzes early on, they changed some of the play calls, some of the approaches, rolling out a little bit, and started picking people up in the middle. But then they also adjusted some of the performance. So you change up how you play, what you're doing, but you then also adjust the technical approach of your players. So they've shown in the past the ability to go in at halftime and make some adjustments and come out. In fact, as I recall, every game we've done of the Hurricanes, they've come out with a better scheme than they went into the locker room. So I'm positive. I think we're going to have a good second half. Well, it's already a great game, 7-14, and the only reason they're ahead is because we didn't get the ball again.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting second half of football. Can't wait to see what happens here in the second half when they make all their adjustments, because both teams make adjustments. So we'll see how they both come out and have what they can do for the second half of football here. Just 1 second. Just wanted to thank our sponsor for tonight, Northwest Athletics Apparel. Tonight's game on C-Game Live is brought to you by Northwest Athletics Apparel, where they believe strongly in the NWAA advantage, which is quality, customer service, and affordable team gear for youths and adults alike. If you're contemplating your next uniform order, contact them at northwestnwaapparel@gmail.com. With the NWAA advantage on your side, everybody wins.
Sorry, man. Gosh dang it. Just one last thing I want to say. Youth leagues or whatever, they can get you a different colored gloves for every game you play. I'm telling you.
Just beating it, man. All right, we'll be back with the second half of action here shortly. Thanks for joining us on C-Game Live.
I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Chip Begay with C-Game Live. I do the stuff behind the scenes over here and
he's the man.
And operate a lot of stuff and make these guys look and sound good if possible.
Yeah.
But I just want to say personally, I want to thank our sponsor. Our primary sponsor the last few games, or 5 games I think, has been Northwest Athletics Apparel. And it is because of them that we are able to present these games live on the internet to you at cgame.live. And so we appreciate them, sponsoring such a game as this. Bryce Williams, thank you very much. And also, we encourage any others businesses out there that could sponsor these games in the future in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
You know, you're certainly welcome to contact us at info@cgame.live. That's info@cgame.live. My name is Chip, and
I'm Ray Lana.
he's Ray Lana, and we don't know who the other guy is. The
And
guy with the gray hair.
With that all too, Chip, it's really exciting to be able to be a part of this, and
Yeah.
for you guys to so sponsor us. It also helps us be able to put these games on the air for you, and allows us something to do on the weekends, which is really, really nice. And we wouldn't have it any other way. So please get a hold of us. There's lots of different packages available, sponsorship packages for you. And thank you, Mr. Williams, for your sponsorship of us this season. Your company is awesome, and we do really appreciate the fact that you're with us.
Yes, and speaking of Northwest Athletics Apparel, tonight's game on cgame.live
That's us.
is brought to you by Northwest Athletics Apparel. And you know, what's his name? The other announcer guy? Oh, Randall. He's always talking about maybe you should get some more stuff from Northwest Athletics Apparel. Well, they believe strongly in in the Northwest Athletics Apparel advantage, which is quality, it's customer service, and affordable team gear for youth and adults alike. So everyone's included in their services. If you are contemplating your next uniform order, contact them at NWA Apparel at gmail.com. With the NWAA advantage on your side, everyone wins.
Now going back to that too, it's like there's a lot, like, this world we live in today is not a customer service orientated type of thing. It's not for the small business owner. It's for the these Amazon and things like that. When you order from these companies, you don't know what you're gonna get. When you order through Northwest Apparel, they have it right there for you. They'll help you design exactly what you need for your team. If you look at these Color Rush jerseys these guys are wearing out on the field, they are hot fire. I mean, these things are nice. This last week was the first time they got to wear these jerseys out here. The players are stoked about it more than anybody else probably, which just leads, Randall brought it up earlier that, all these people want to mimic teams like Oregon and get these like fancy jerseys and have all these different options. Some people are even going to schools based on the jerseys they wear in college, which you can get your hands on for your team, for youth, or your drinking softball team can get jerseys together for this through Northwest Apparel. They do a lot. It's a local community, local business, and they're there for you. So definitely take advantage of that if you're in the market in any way, shape, or form. This guy, they're there for you. So yeah, definitely take advantage of Northwest Apparel, and thank you for sponsoring us this season. We do appreciate it, and hope to have you with us for many years in the future.
Well, it looks like the game is ready to begin, so I'm going to go back to my job, and these guys are going to put the headsets on and get in place and start on the second half here.
That's what we do.
Begins now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bryce.
Get the second half underway. We have a score of Pitbulls 14, Hurricanes 7. It's going to be the start of the second half. The Hurricanes receive the ball at the beginning of the game. Therefore, the Pitbulls will be receiving the kickoff to start the second half.
Yeah, and of course it's way too early in the second half to say this is a key series, but I'll tell you what, this is a good way to keep things going in the Hurricanes' direction, turn the game around and pin them deep down here, hold them on downs, and then let our kicker prove that he can actually kick it from 50 yards.
Yeah, he was out here practicing kicks during the halftime while the rest of the team was back figuring out their offensive, defensive strategies.
Well, I hope so after I was bragging on him, and then he missed a 45-yarder.
I saw him hit some 50-yarders in practice
All
out
right,
there.
then.
So, and set to kick off the second half. It's just a little pooch kick. It goes out about 4.5 yards off the tee. May have been intended, but it was short.
Yeah, I don't know what the rule is. Do you get the ball there?
Generally, at that point, it would be a procedure penalty, basically.
And then kick it again?
And kick it again.
You know
Looks like
what?
they're bringing the offense out on the field, so they must be getting the ball right here and Going to start the second half in the Hurricanes territory at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, because of course the rule is, whether it's intentional or not, the ball must go 10 yards before the kicking team is allowed to jump on it. If the ball does go 10 yards and the kickers are able to fall into the kicking team, it's their ball.
So the first possession of the second half underway. Takes the snap, hands off to the back. Jones takes it to the outside, meets a defender, and they wrap him up and swarm him down. They're going to give him forward progress at the 45-yard line, which is a loss of about 5 yards on the play. Great defensive play by the Hurricanes. They stepped on up, slowed him down in the backfield, and then kept him going.
Yeah, and it's good defensive play too. Look at them have control up to the top of the screen, right there in the shadow, controls the guy, and is able to push him back and stays square to the line of scrimmage. That's
it was Chris Woods that kind of disrupted that play, getting from the bottom of your screen all the way up to the top to make first contact. We got a penalty marker out on the field before the snap, before they even lined up. I'm going to discuss it with the referee here. See what this penalty is. I think it's going against the defense.
And you know, right now for the playoffs, because you have 3 divisions, 15 teams. Right now for the playoff, the Pitbulls are in it. They're already guaranteed. They're the 7th. If they lose the rest of the games, they'll be the 7th seed.
Looks like a 15-yard penalty. That's probably a personal foul. I didn't see the call, but it is against the defense. It's going to be a first down and 10 from the 30-yard line.
Well, you got to check the chains there, gentlemen. Check the chains. There we go.
And just so people know at home, we actually have volunteers out here that are helping with the chains and the clock and the scoreboard and all this stuff. And the officials are being as patient as they can be to help them along the way. First and 10 from the 30-yard line, 3 wide, 1 back, shotgun set, takes the snap, looks to his right, throws it across the middle. Good timing on that route. Received and caught at the 21-yard line.
The defender
just shy of the first down.
The defensive back closed on him very quickly. Red broke to the ball, got him without many more yards after the catch. However, just making that catch gave him 2nd and 1. And you know what I say? Anytime it's 2nd and 1,
go for the end zone, right?
Go throw a pass to the end zone. I don't care if you're on the 1-yard line. I don't care if the Super Bowl. The right play is throw for a touchdown. You know, I'm not a coach.
2nd and 1, 3 wide. Takes the snap, looks left, looks right, throws it over the middle. A little timing off on that play. Intended receiver, Andre Dorn.
Pretty good coverage there.
Brings up 3rd down and 1. See if the Hurricanes can get themselves out of some trouble here with that little pooch kick on the start and then the personal foul penalty there.
Yeah, did not start off the second half auspiciously, that's for sure, if you're a Hurricane.
3rd down and 1 yard to go. Very similar formation to what we've seen.
Tight coverage on the defensive backs.
Takes the snap, hands it off to the back. It's tripped up. It looked like his knee hit the ground before he crossed that 20-yard line. We'll see what the referees give us here.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
Let's take a look at that replay here. He gets the handoff in the backfield, gets stopped, hit up, knee down, well short of the 20-yard line.
Yeah,
we'll see where they spot it.
Back. Well, I don't want to complain. Let's see that one more time where I don't have to complain. We'll just let. There you go. Did you see that?
Yeah, I
Did you
just
see that
saw
last
that.
moment? There you go. He must be watching this game at cgame.live on his cell phone.
He's got those new Google glasses
Yeah,
on or
Google
something.
glasses. That was smart, Ray. That was a good call. You saw it. When I watched it on the replay, it was pretty obvious, and the official went in there and
So-
correctly spotted the ball.
It's going to bring up 4th down and 2. They're going to be going for it on this play.
All right,
3 wide to the bottom of your screen.
early big
Shotgun.
play.
A lot of pressure looking like it's mounting up there on the defensive line. Hurricanes trying to get a good push. Throws it out to the fade route to the left side. Got some man, makes the catch. Touchdown, Pitbulls. That's the same play we saw to end the first half
It sure
there,
is,
basically.
yeah.
That outside fade route.
And look at he's looking into the sun too. He's looking back into the sun. A little bit of
Little
bump in there.
push off there.
Yeah, and we're saying from the Hurricanes. We're not, so that was a good play all around, and that's one of those things again is where that's why when you got some distance on the field, you don't want to line up inside because you give that corner. But then again, right, he's close enough that if you release him inside, he'll have a quick shot over the middle for a touchdown. So that's kind of no man's land there. You got to just kind of play that by ear, someone might say.
So they're going to line up for a 2-point conversion from the hash mark at the top of the screen there. Hey, you only got to go 50% on these, right, to get all your points that you would have normally got on the extra points.
That's a good point too, actually, right? If you can get 2 points, you only 50% is the same as making every extra point.
One wide receiver way down to the bottom of the screen there.
See, he's going to look for
Andre
quick.
Dorn way out there.
He's going to release inside right off the bat.
Takes the snap, hands off to the back, goes to the left. Oh no, he kept the ball, faked me out, and he takes it in himself for a touchdown. That was a good fake. It was fake. It was good enough. I fell for it.
Run that one more time. You can. The receiver we were looking at all the way to the right of the screen. This is called. We don't see him there. This is called stock blocking. See how you just get in front of the guy? Was the guy at the bottom, but someone up towards the middle also did that. That's known as stock blocking on the defensive or the defensive. The receiver is blocking the defensive back. It's called stock blocking. You don't have to drive him anywhere. Just stay in front of him. Just stay in front of him and did a pretty good job there.
Let's take one more look at that replay.
Now, the one I was talking about was off to the right of the screen. We didn't see it. But there to the right side, you see number 7 do kind of the same thing.
These great instant replays are brought to you by Northwest Athletics Apparel, providing quality and affordable team uniforms for youths as well as adults. Specializing in bulk orders for team apparel such as gloves, hat, compression gear, and shirts. They can match various styles and looks or work in-house to customize specifics to your team or person ordering. Find out more, visit them on the web at nwaa.biz or email them at nwaaapparel@gmail.com. So after a little extracurricular activity out on the field there, we're going to get a kickoff going here. Now the Pitbulls came out pretty aggressive there after the play. I mean, it helped that they got great field position after the kickoff. But they put together a nice string of plays, got in a little bit of trouble and still made up for it and got back for the first down a couple times and then scored on that fade route to the outside.
Yeah, that's the mark of a good team, too, is that you'll run into some problems and then you just get it together, get steady. You know, they say steady, 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 and that's what can result in positive results.
All right, Pitbulls got first blood on the opening drive on the second half here. Set to line up to kick off from left to right.
Look at the return men for the Hurricanes. They're all the way up to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, they are playing it pretty close. Again, last time, if you remember, they actually had to back up on the catch it over the shoulder there on the return.
Yeah, he just barely got it, too.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to assess a penalty for the little extracurricular activity on the kickoff. So they're going to be kicking the ball from the 50-yard line. Got Thomas Dijonet back to receive the kick, as well as well as Shane DeChautel.
Let it go. Let's play ball.
Kicking off is Jaron Jones, halfback, fullback, tight end, linebacker, defensive lineman. He's got a lot of abbreviations after his name.
Does a lot of everything.
That's
Whoa,
a
look
good
at that
kick.
kick. Of course, it
Goes
helps.
deep into the middle of the end zone. They're going to take it out. Tries to break back to the right. Gets swallowed up by a big group of gray shirts there.
That's a gaggle of pit bulls.
What do they call a pack of pit bulls, huh?
I don't know.
Yeah, a pack of dogs, pack of pit bulls.
Yeah, that's probably it.
So the Hurricanes will take the ball over 1st and 10 from their own, looks to be about the 12-yard line, maybe?
You know what
Or
they call
14-yard line.
They call a bunch of a whole bunch of pit bulls irresponsible ownership.
Or a dog show.
Yeah, our dog show.
You know, pit bulls get a bad rep.
I know, and it's wrong, and people shouldn't do that.
They're
And
actually
anyway,
really nice dogs.
they're
if
wonderful
they're treated
dogs.
well.
Yeah, they're fantastic dogs. I've always actually wanted a pit bull.
Hurricanes huddled up, getting a play called for this opening drive of the second half for them.
Come on, offense.
4 wide, 1 back. Williams set to receive the snap. Hands the ball off to the back in the backfield. Gets a little bit of space. Runs right up the middle and gets taken down. Forward progress marked about the 21-yard line.
That was a hard run, huh?
Yeah, that was Alex Washington on the run right there. Talked to Alex last game, and he said, call my name. I said, you show me. I'll call your name. So I'm calling his name. Good job, Washington.
Good job.
That's the way you want to do it. You know, 1st down and 10. Get 6 yards on the play.
That sure makes it a lot easier to call the second down play.
So should they go for the end zone from here?
No,
Oh, it's not 1 yard.
It's
to
not
go.
1 yard. No, it has to be 2nd and 1, and that's an ironclad distance. 2nd and 1. If it's 2nd and 1 and 3/4 of an inch, well, then you run it.
Yeah, a personal foul against the defense. That's going to bring the ball all the way up to the 36-yard line.
Now, that's a serious infraction there, so that must have been personal foul.
Yeah, 15-yard penalty.
Come on, teamwork.
1st down,
All right, here we go, Hurricanes.
4 wide.
Let's go, offense.
Timeout.
Cheer 'em on. Come on, boys. Talk to 'em.
Time in.
Ooh, stops on a dime, and oh, wow, that was almost a very, very bad situation.
Let's see this again. Just a little coaching point there to the top, to the left of your screen, the defensive end rushing. Lots of times what you want to do is put your hands up and just keep running. Now watch, he's going to get ready to jump. He slows down, he stops. In that case, now some people disagree with it. Some people tell you to jump. Run it one more time if you can. I'm really of the school that if you're coming off the edge or you're rushing the quarterback, just put your hands up and run as fast as you can. Keep running, put your hands up. Although I don't want the pit bulls to do that. But that's the thing, is that if you jump or if you stop, that gives the quarterback a chance to pump, slow you down, and then get a chance to throw again.
John Walker, the intended receiver, it looked as though he batted it down. Otherwise, it could have been an interception. So it was a good play, smart on his behalf. Williams takes the snap, rolls out to his right.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Just out of the reach of their running back there.
And, you know, in the case of that, it was the defender. He had to make a choice. He's either going to come at the quarterback or he's going to go with the receiver. Often, if the defender goes with the receiver, quarterback run. In fact, if you're a defender and you're put in that spot, you can either cover a receiver or rush the quarterback. Usually, it's make the quarterback complete the pass. In other words, leave the receiver open and charge the quarterback. In general, you want to make the quarterback complete the pass and make the receiver catch the pass. So in that case, well, it worked out well for him.
3rd down and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Similar 4 wide set. Dijonay
In motion.
in motion to the top of your screen. Ball thrown out, received. Got some space, running up. Gets to the 50, cuts back, goes to the 40, and gets pushed out of bounds about the 38-yard line.
Yeah, and that's that screen. It's similar to the laser screen, but that's a deal where the offensive linemen are not running out to the sidelines to get in front of the
Take
receiver.
a look at that real quick.
That's where the running back goes in motion. Oh, actually, the running back went into motion to block. A receiver came back, so that's a laser screen where the receiver comes back and catches the ball. That one really worked out well.
That was a very nice catch, getting up in the air and getting that ball at its high point.
I like that little juke too, right? Steps back in and then goes back up the field.
That's right.
And slow down the pursuit, but you get the yards that you can get.
That's Shane DeChotel on the reception. Had some good blocks out in front of him and just made him pay for that. That's going to bring up first down and 10. Starting off from the 37-yard line of the Pitbulls. Takes the snap, hands the ball off, bounces back out, goes backwards, and takes about a 7-yard loss on the play. Maybe more than that.
Yeah, that's one of those things. If in second guessing, right, seeing how it resulted, you would say, well, I probably should have just hit it on up in there. Except, and we mentioned this, sometimes that guy kind of reminds us of old Barry Sanders. Right? In that case, the way he's been making things happen, that you can see him bounce out a little bit, go ahead and take the chance of losing some yards. You turn that corner and boom, you got a big play. Typically you don't want to widen backwards. You don't want to go wide and go back at the same time. That guy has had so much success out here with good, quick, hard runs. That's probably worth the chance there.
Yeah, it was just if there was one man on him, he'd have probably broke it. But
Yeah.
there was 3 out there on the outside coming right for him.
Come on, team!
Williams set to take the snap. Fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right. With lots of space in front of him. Throws the ball complete.
Where did he
Powering forward. Gets to the 5-yard line. All the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Hurricanes.
Yeah.
The question will be where the ball was thrown from. It looks like there is a flag back at the 50-yard line.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. There's another
May have
possibility.
crossed the line of scrimmage.
And that's the question. But the other thing, too, is that it was in the area where the blocker, boy, I think that's good. Another thing, too, is that in the area where the flag was thrown, there was a blocker that was sealed his man inside. And if they called it on him, I'm going to say that's a bad call. Now, that's without seeing it on replay.
Let's take one more look at that real quick.
And so early on the edge, right up there, number 65 on 56, run that one more time. So what you're going to see, not all the way on the edge, but halfway between the hash marks and the far sidelines, number 65 is out there. Okay, there's 65. Yeah, they couldn't have called it on him. Oh, that's sad. Now, the great thing is they can waive off penalties. Back in the old days when I played, they would never waive off a penalty. That's where they make it up. If they made a bad call, they realize it, then they make a call the other way later on. Here, maybe cooler heads will prevail.
Get a little information here.
Well, they're going to call it holding.
Holding on the offense.
Let's see that. Wait, if they decline it, it's a touchdown. Oh, ineligible receiver downfield. That's what they called. All right, let's see that again. So what they're saying is that a lineman was over the line of scrimmage. Where's the line of scrimmage there? Right about the 46? Not about, it is the 46. Let's see. Now you're engaged. He's engaged.
Wow.
What the heck is that?
That was pretty close.
No, it's not even close. If you're engaged in driving a guy, you don't
It
throw
was
the
called
flag.
by the linesman on the other side of the field.
One of the things, if you're a lineman and you're pushing the defender and you do happen to push him across the line, they give you some leeway on that.
Second down, about 21 yards to go.
Guy out in the
Little
flare.
touch pass out to the outside. Tries to make a man miss. It gets taken down. It's running back on running back right there. It's quite a play.
Thomas Dejanay, that was a good play, wasn't that? That was a good defensive play. That's something that you could take out of this film and put it into a teaching film on how to make an open field tackle under control. Didn't fall for any of the quick moves, and that running back for the Hurricanes, he's got some quick moves, stayed under control, stayed square, made a good tackle.
It was Jared Jones on the tackle, number 22 for the Pitbulls. He's been all over the field, making great stops. He's like a bullet getting shot out of a cannon out there.
Yeah, and he even kicked that last one into the end zone. Well, it helped because they had the penalty.
So it's going to be 4th down from their own 44-yard line. They're set to punt. Line to gain would be the 27-yard line.
That is quite a line to gain there.
Come on, Hurricane!
Gee whiz.
Nice snap. Good punt.
Nice boot.
High, deep.
Hang time.
Decent bounce. This is going to be down at the 30-yard line. So the Pitbulls will take over on their own 30-yard line.
And the Hurricane that caught the ball, see, tucked it away, didn't just drop it on the ground to make sure that the kick returning team didn't have a chance to pick it up and run.
So we are here in the second half, 6:19 to go. The Pitbulls 22, Hurricanes 7. And, you know, it's crazy how quickly it can change, you know, from the Hurricanes scoring a touchdown on that last play to being a penalty with a illegal man downfield, losing those yards and having to punt the ball.
That's a big turnaround. That is a big turnaround. The sad thing there, too, is that was such a great athletic effort on the receiver to get down there and keep working and keep his feet churning and ends up with 40-yard run, something like that. That was too bad. That was one heck of a play.
Adjusting the clock to 8:19. I don't know how they gained 2 minutes, but we will find out. 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
Come on, defense! Watch that ball!
Just straight 4-man rush.
Ooh, slippery back there.
Gee whiz.
Good hit on the outside there.
Good play. That was a good tackle out there. He was being blocked by a wide receiver. That was a good run, too, by the running back, number 22. Thomas Dejanay. He split the defenders. He was just the right line. They had a good outside contain. Guy got up there a little bit. And then there was inside rush, and he split between them and got some yards.
Yeah, that was actually 22 Jared Jones for the Pitbulls. 22 on the other side is Dijonais.
I just see 22 all over. I'm
That's right,
seeing
that's
22
right.
spots.
Eddie Brazier on the tackle, though. He came up from the defensive back position and made a great stop on him, hit him low, and took him to the ground. Hiked the ball, hand the ball off in the backfield.
There we go.
Gets taken down and swallowed up. And goes down about the 35-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 15 yards.
Was that number 30? That was number 30. That was a smart read, too, because what he did is, you talked about this earlier, Ray, is that he saw where the hole was. I don't think that was a designed blitz. That was just smart play out there. He saw where the hole was, cut through it, and hit the man in the backfield.
Yeah, it was a great defensive stop. As soon as he touched that ball, he got swallowed up. And, you know, sometimes you don't have to take him down. You just got to hold him in that spot until the rest of your team can get there to take him down.
That's right.
2nd down and 15. Takes a snap, low snap, looks to his left, runs out to his left, throws to his left, and ball is dropped. It was quite a throw by the quarterback, running out to the left side and throwing the ball mid-stride. That's a very good pass. Hard to throw that ball. We saw Adam Cruz last season throwing that ball, 40 yards from that exact spot.
That is an exception, though. You're right. You don't have the chance to set your feet. You got to have a good arm strength and a good touch on that ball to be able to throw it accurately when you're moving like that.
Yeah, their quarterback is Kyron Carlson, number 5, 5'10", 175. That's their quarterback today. He's their backup quarterback.
Yeah, right. He's the backup quarterback.
He's been playing pretty well
sure
today,
has.
actually. And 3 wide, 1 back, shotgun set. 6 men on the line. Takes the snap, rolls out, throws it to the sideline, incomplete.
Run that one more time there. Down to the left of the screen, the pass rush. Look at he does a little spin on there. He gets upfield. That's number 30. We talked about him earlier. Boom, makes a quick spin. That is a dang good move, especially because he didn't have contain on that, right? He was able to rush inside. That was a nice move. You don't typically see that type of spin on the pass rush like that, but that was a good play.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw how he went through the line with that spin move. He didn't even make contact prior to the spin move, so it was basically impossible to stop without holding on to the guy.
Yeah, one real quick thing, too, about the spin move is because you'll see it, you teach it sometimes, and a lot of guys, what they do is they run, and then they stand there and spin, and they end up back in the same spot. What you have to do, and what he did, as you spin, you actually use your back, rub across the guy, and move forward. You actually have to move upfield on the spin by leaning into the person trying to block you, which is what he did.
Yeah, you got to keep that forward momentum.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to be punting the ball here from their own 35-yard line. Good snap. Good kick. Received at the 27-yard line.
Might have
couple
some room on
moves
the
in
left.
the backfield. Makes a couple men miss. Got a little seam. Brings it upfield.
He's
Try
still
holding
going.
on to that ball. Getting forward progress. Going to be down at the 48-yard line. Great return.
And that's what we talk about, right? He sees the seam, makes a move. Didn't have a whole lot right off the bat, moving a lot laterally. He sees the seam and just explodes up it.
Yeah, that's a great play. Thomas DeJohnette, he's been all over the field, but he's very elusive when he receives the ball. He's kind of dancing the backfield, as you saw there, and then he fights for that extra yardage towards the end. And, he was wrapped up pretty good and still got another 3 or 4 yards out of it.
Yeah, making a lot of lateral movement, which we tend to say is not what you want to do, but with the quick feet he has, 1, 2, 3, 4, man, he's going sideways, and then he just sets those feet, and you really saw him bear down, drop his weight, and that's usually how people can accelerate. You're moving, drop your weight, accelerate up, and that was one nice play.
Yeah, they talk about it a lot in basketball. The first step, that guy has a very, very pronounced step and gets going from 0 to fast in no time at all. 4 wide, 1 back. Williams gets the ball, hands the ball off in the backfield. Little juke move. Grabbed a hold of his shirt and took him down, but not before he gains 4 yards. DeJohnette is working the ball up the field.
That was Branson Stirk, the linebacker, number 47, came off the edge.
Stirk has been playing well today. He's been involved in a lot of plays, getting pressure on Williams in the backfield, also just redirecting the running backs, which is a big move and a good way to slow him down overall.
Yeah, and that's a good point, is that you have a good guy off the edge. You want to set the edge. He may not make the tackles, but as you said, he redirects the running game. That's a big thing. Guy on the edge gets up there, sets the edge, makes the running back go a different way. They're showing blitz off the top.
Pitbull territory, 48-yard line. Fakes the handoff. Williams tries to break out of there and can't quite get free of the running back.
He's got a bad ankle, and
Looks like he might have been taken down a little awkwardly.
I think
Coach 8 heading on the field.
he missed the game earlier. The first game we did, he missed the game. He had a bad ankle, and I think what happened was he got rolled up on that. So the thing is, what we're thinking is that that's an old ankle, and so not an old ankle, it's an old injury, so that means that often it won't be as bad as you might think.
I personally am a guy that has right ankle issues, and that's why I've kind of stopped all the contact sports, because it once it fails, it continues to do so. My doctors even know. They're like, oh, it's November. I guess it's time to see you again.
Right. Is that right? Oh, man.
Hopefully just twist it a little bit, and they'll be able to stretch him out and maybe get him back playing today.
Yeah, and this is one of the things. There's something, they say you play through the pain, just go ahead and keep playing. The problem with joints, and especially with ankles, what happens is there are nerves that run through the ankle. Now, they're not nerves for pain. It's if you close your eyes and you move your foot, you know how your ankle is, right? And their positioning nerves. And the problem is when you twist your ankle, and if you twist it a few times, all of a sudden you're not quite sure the positioning of your foot. And that's the problem with playing when you have a sprained ankle. It's not just about the pain. It's there are a set of nerves that tell you how your ankle is positioned, because you don't look at your feet as you're walking. You just automatically expect that your heel will hit correctly and your toes will go correctly. And that is one of the reasons, especially you younger guys, that when you get an ankle, you maybe want to just wait until it's healed.
Well, he's getting off the field, getting some help from some of his teammates. Hopefully he's not seriously injured at all. That's Bryce Williams, the quarterback for the Hurricanes, and the owner of Northwest Athletics Apparel. So at least he's got, he hopefully can get back playing here today. But if not, hopefully it's just something minor, and he'll be, wrap it up with an ace bandage and continue about his life. Because as we all know,
this is what you
players,
say.
They have a life outside of this game. They're not getting paid to play this game. It's a volunteer basis, so they play for the love of the game, not for the money or anything like that. So they got to go to work the next day and things like that. So it's important that there's less injuries out here on the field. So a new quarterback takes the ball, rolls out to his right, got a man downfield, makes a completion on his first attempt. And forward progress should get him to about the 46-yard line, according to the line judge on the bottom of the screen.
Holy mackerel. If you're going to say what's the first play a quarterback comes in and does, that was pretty good. Let's see that again. Watch also how he sets up on the contained to the top of your screen. He's going to roll out.
It's going to bring up 4th down and short. About 3 yards to go on the play. They're going to punt the ball. Oh, I'm sorry, 4th and long. I was looking at the wrong first down marker. It's a major difference there. It was 4th and 12 to go. Going to punt the ball either way from their own 46-yard line.
Hey, do we have that last play, or do we still have that in the works?
Timeout on the field.
Let me just run out here right now while we have a situation with an injury. If you injure your ankle, what you want to do is you want it in a bucket of ice. That's what you want. You want it completely immersed in ice and water. And what happens is it'll start hurting from the cold. Pull it out till it stops hurting. Put it back in there. You want it packed in ice, and that's what you really want now. You want a big thing of ice around it, and they have the chemical ice packs. That doesn't turn out enough cold. So you really would like to have a bucket down there with a foot in that bucket. So it hurts a little bit. You pull it out till it quits hurting, puts it back in. 20 minutes is what you want to do. You can't overdo it as long as there's water, because the coldest that ice-water mix can be, the absolute coldest it can be, is 32 degrees. So you can keep it in there forever. You're not going to hurt it. Now, you keep doing that. If you do that 3-4 days in a row, all of a sudden it will quit hurting when you put your foot in there. So if you sprain an ankle, you sprain a finger, you sprain a wrist, embed it in ice. Ice and water. It's got to be water to make sure it doesn't get colder than 32 degrees, but you've got to pack those things in ice.
Like I said, I've had many, many ankle injuries. It just depends on whether you're going to continue playing or if you're done for the day. Because if you're going to continue playing, they want to wrap it up tight and make it so the swelling doesn't continue on that particular appendage.
You absolutely want to wrap it up tight and pack it in ice. It should be packed in ice right now.
It's a fake.
Running
out to his side, throws the ball downfield, got 2 men, catches the ball.
And there's another flag.
Looks like the ball came out at the end there.
And
Let's take one more look at that play. Set back to punt, and he just runs to his left, looks downfield. Little frustration on the Hurricanes' part.
What was the call?
Still waiting for a call on the field here.
One of the things you said, you want to wrap it tight, and lots of times people say you don't want to wrap it too tight, and you don't if you're going to keep it on there. But an injury like that, you wrap it as tight as they can, and then you release it in 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whenever it starts to hurt. So you can wrap it really tight, you can't leave it wrapped tight. But I want to emphasize this. You want to pack it in ice instantly. There's nothing medical science can do. Nothing. No surgeon, no one on earth can help it better than if you pack an injury in ice right away. If you have a sprained ankle, pack it in ice. There's nothing better treatment than that. Wrap it up like you said. That's good. But pack it in ice.
It looks like there was an ineligible man downfield, an ineligible receiver. Penalty decline. They'll just turn the ball over on downs. Pitbulls will take the ball on the Hurricanes' 46-yard line to start their drive. First down and 10. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Officials timeout.
You know, this has been a really clean game today. We haven't seen a lot of big hits that look like they're out of line. No helmet to helmet. One that was a targeting hit, but it wasn't enough for the official to call. Also, we've not seen any turnovers except on downs. Been a pretty clean game played by both teams at this point.
Yes, it has. There was one targeting, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, it's been basically a good game.
Hands the ball off. Number 10 breaks out to the left, coming back towards the middle.
Ooh.
Makes a big hit of his own on the defender. It was quite a run. That was Delando Gray. Number 10. It's the first time I've called his name tonight.
Boy, the way he run, I'm surprised we haven't seen him more. That was a nice, hard run. He hit the hole, found the gap between the defenders, exploded upfield, and then again at the end, right, accelerate into the hit.
Yeah, he definitely can run the ball from what I can see just by the first play. But the reason we probably haven't seen him is because he's got Jones right in front of him.
Well, that's a good point.
Been a beast out here today. Shotgun set, 4 wide, hands the ball off, fumbles the ball. Ball goes back to the quarterback's hands. He gets taken down at the 38-yard line. They're going to spot him. Line judge at the bottom of the screen is spotting him a yard before where I thought he got taken down.
Hey, well, they were lucky. I'll tell you what, they lost that yardage. They were lucky the quarterback was able to fall on that because everyone else was in blue jerseys.
That's true.
Dang good-looking blue jerseys.
Yeah, man, those jerseys are they're very nice. You don't see this really when you're watching this type of game. These guys have very nice looking jerseys. All thanks to Northwest Athletics Apparel. Drops back, throws the ball, and no one's there. They fall on the ball smartly just in case.
I was pretty sure that was a forward pass.
That was Delando Gray on the intended receiver on that. They set it up really nicely. He drops way back, gets all of the linemen. Looks like a hold on the interior there. He just plans his run before he grabs the ball. That's something that happens a lot, especially in like youth athletics where they're so excited they get a pass thrown to them, but they're ready to run the ball. You need to make sure you maintain possession before you consider anything beyond that.
And a point there is you actually look the ball into your hands. Look the ball in your hands, and also, even when you're playing catch, tuck it. Look the ball in your hands, tuck it, make it an automatic move.
Yeah, it might sound ridiculous, but they say keep your eye on the ball. Hand off to the back, right up the middle. And they get back what they've lost, so it's going to bring up 4th and 10 here coming up.
That was another powerful run by that guy.
Yeah, he's definitely getting ahead of steam. Dropped that last pass, but made up for it in that run. Delando Gray. Mr. Gray is listed at 5'9", 205 pounds. That is a big man.
Okay, there you go. You see that, right? A little shorter. It kind of fools you a little bit. He's solid, though, isn't he?
Yeah, it's really hard to tackle guys that are short and stocky.
Yeah.
They have a very low center of gravity, and when you get a hold of them, they do not want to go down. It's like tackling a fire hydrant. It's very difficult. Quarterback takes a snap, looks right, throws a deep, nice spiral pass. Looked like the receiver became the defender and made contact with the number 23 who was out trying to receive that ball.
Let's see that again. I tell you what, because we've been talking about Delando Gray. Watch him step up and pick up the.
That was a nice block.
That was because what happened was that the defensive guy beat his man. That's a tough one for the running back to pick up. He had to come in after the defensive guy for the Hurricanes, beat the offensive lineman, and he stuck it in there just long enough to let his quarterback get the pass off.
Yeah, Marco Zamora was the intended receiver on that play. Quarterback actually dropped back and threw quite a nice ball, actually, right down the sideline there. Just overthrew his receiver. Almost became a situation where the defender actually had a better shot at the ball, and I think he did. So
that was kind of funny there. The official was waving for the ball, and the ball came flying over his head. He just looked over the corner like, what the heck are you doing? So then the other official went and got the ball and handed it to him.
So the Hurricanes will take over on downs. First down and 10 from the 31-yard line. Drops back, looks right, throws a nice spiral over the middle into heavy traffic, bounces off 3 hands, and it is intercepted out at the 35-yard line. That's unfortunate. I mean, he threw it into quite a few people out there.
He pumped once, too, before he goes to try to wave a guy off, it looks like, a defender off.
Yeah, it's just a bad bounce, really.
A lot of people around the receiver, too. Boy, he aired it out, though, and that's the reserve quarterback. He does have an arm strength there. Huh?
Definitely has a cannon for an arm.
Yeah, and I'm going to let it go after this, but one of the things that bugs me, you go into a doctor's office with a sprained finger or sprained ankle, and they have you wait until you see the doctor. That's a mistake. Pack it in ice. So right now the ankle should be packed in ice. That's what you do. A doctor can't do anything better, can't make a sprained ankle better than it would be if you just packed it in ice.
And that'll be the end of the third quarter with your score, Pitbulls 22, Hurricanes 7. This game feels to me like it's a lot closer than it is, even though the scoreboard is, more than 2 touchdown difference between the two teams. I feel like the Hurricanes have actually been producing pretty well on offense and defense. It's unfortunate that Williams went out with the ankle injury.
Yeah.
But number 0, who I do not have his name, unfortunately, I cannot. He's got an arm. We'll see what he can do. Sometimes, you just need an opportunity as a player in order to step up and show your team what you can do.
Yeah, sure. And when he replaced Bryce Williams earlier, he was getting pounded. I mean, there was an assault on him by the defense, and he's back out there. It's a better offense that he has now. He's better protection. It's a better team than he was leading when he filled in for Bryce before. And I tell you what, they got a good person there in the backup role.
So now that we've changed sides, the Pitbulls will be going from right to left on your screen now. The referees all conferring with one another. They're supposed to do this at halftime, I believe.
Number 17 is the backup QB.
Okay, and in closing, it's just so important. This is such an important thing. All right, his ankle should be buried in ice right now. And you guys out there, and there's nothing medical science could do for a sprain that is as good as packing it in ice as soon as it happens. Well, they did have a conference out there. They're discussing different interpretations of the rules. And you know what? It's always good to get the correct interpretation.
Well, Randall, here's a little secret.
Tell me a secret there, Ray.
I can't wait. When you look good, you play good. That's why ordering from Northwest Athletics Apparel is so appealing. They have everything. Yes, everything.
Everything?
Everything that you need to look and feel your very best on game day, and at an affordable price. Whether you're a budding youth rec league team or an established organization, the creative folks at NWA Apparel have the uniforms for you. Just go to www.nwaa.biz or contact them via email at nwaaapparel@gmail.com to find the gear and uniforms that that are perfect for your squad. Northwest Athletics Apparel is a proud sponsor of this week's game on cgame.live.
Yeah, and the big thing about them, too, is that you can call them and they'll work with you. We've talked about this a couple of times so far in this broadcast. But, you see the pros there in great uniforms. You want to go buy those uniforms. And, of course, you would like them. They look good. The deal is that with NWAA, Northwest Athletics Apparel, is they give you specialized customer support. And that, I think, is a big deal.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it goes above and beyond like just ordering online blindly without knowing exactly what you got. I mean, they have product demos. You can see obviously these jerseys here that they're wearing. I mean, it's beautiful actually. The silver lettering on the what color blue would you call that? Like a powder blue, almost like a San Diego Chargers kind
Close
of
to a powder blue.
Powder blue, and then the checkerboard print that they have on the sleeves. I think it just all works together, and obviously the helmets are great to go with it too. I mean, the designs are endless that you can do with this type of apparel. So, whatever your mind can come up with, and then run it through the mind of Mr. Williams, and he will
help you out
and provide you with other suggestions and things that you might not even have thought of, and you can come up with an even more creative idea that you didn't even anticipate.
Yeah, because he has a background in that. Right? Spent some
Exactly.
time. We had a great interview with him a few games ago before you rejoined us. He really explained it. I mean, it was almost like a class in business. That was pretty good. So the thing is, University of California, they all have the same colors, blue and gold. It's just different shades. So UCLA is powder blue with a light gold, and Cal has the royal blue, the dark blue, and the darker gold, I forgot the name of the gold. But anyway, so all UC Californians have the same blue and gold. They just have different shades. So this is kind of halfway. The Hurricane shade is halfway between Cal blue and UCLA blue.
I just know it looks really good. It
Looks
pops.
really good.
It pops. It's like the color of my shirt almost, actually.
That's popping, babe. I tell you. Okay.
Let's see what's going on out here on the field. They got a timeout and conferring with.
Well, they changed sides on the quarter. I mean, do they not know where
We should be starting the fourth quarter right now.
So right now, as far as the WWFA, Western Washington Football Association's, the playoff standings, we're getting towards the end of the regular season. This is after 7 weeks. The Rage, we saw them in here a little while ago, and they're 7-0. So they're at number one. In fact, they've already clinched the playoff berth, and the Rams are 7-0. We've seen them recently, and we go on down. Right at this point, the Hurricanes were still in the mix. I believe that if it turns out to be a loss, but hey, they're less than 21 points down, so that they can come back, make it happen. It's going to be a little less likely having an injury to our all-star quarterback, but they are still in the mix theoretically as far as mathematically.
Well, an entire quarter of football, a lot of points can be scored.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about that. So we definitely hope that they will be able to put some drives together, just for the entertainment purposes.
Yeah,
nothing
that's
else,
good.
There's pride after everything's said and done. Making one good play can
Right.
change the game for you as a player or a fan. So
And you mentioned it too. It's like these players come out here and a player has to go in. You know what they say, the next man up. That's actually a saying. A player comes in, hasn't played that much. Now he comes out there, and this is how stars are born. Every year you watch college football, there's going to be guys at the end of this next season that you'd never heard of that all of a sudden just explode on the season. And that happens just in every team. This happens. Every team out there, there's going to be some people that you were expecting to come through, you're expecting to perform well, and they just don't rise up to the expectations. There's going to be other people that you were thinking will be able to fill in, and all of a sudden they become a star, and they're going to be people you had no idea was out there. And boom, they explode on the scene and they make things happen. And those guys that come out of nowhere that you aren't really ready for, those are the ones that can really turn around the fortunes of a football team. So I thank you for saying what you were saying there, Ray, because now that you say that, I'm looking at this number one. The quarterback's out there, has to fill in the first play. He made a great play.
yes, he did.
Yeah, and it was smart too, right? He knew what was going on. He was aware of the situation on the field. So I'm excited now, Ray. You got me fired up. This may be the emergence of an all-star quarterback.
Yeah, it's actually a really good play that he made going back to
really
that play.
good. First play
because,
out.
he was rolling out to his right, and he had space in front of him. He could have just done what I would have done if I was a backup roll. I would have tried to run it out and just get as many yards as I could and go to the ground because it's the easiest play.
Right.
But he decided to stop, plant his feet, and throw the ball upfield and make a completion for a first down.
And he didn't have any warm-up time, right? It's not like, okay, the game.
I didn't even see him throw a ball on the sideline.
Yeah, I would think that you wouldn't actually throw a pass on the first play of a reserve quarterback coming in. However, of course, that's sometimes when you want to throw the ball.
All right, now that we got all this situated, I'm not even sure what was going on exactly. Got the ball 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line, on their own 35-yard line. Pitbulls taking the ball from right to left after the switching of sides at the quarter end.
They got a long ways to go, too.
Takes
Bringing
the
a lot of
snap, hands the
pressure.
ball off to the left. Met by about 4 or 5 blue shirts out there and taken down and going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. They'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was good. We've been talking about it all game, but the person that came in there, number 22, hey, we know that guy, Thomas DeJohnette. He really squared up. He really read the play, got into the hole, squared up, made the hit. That was a good play. Oh, look at that. They're running the ball. It's a loss of 1.
Yeah, if you look, DeJohnette's actually lining up right over the ball. He did this on the last play, and he's doing it again right now.
We don't have him down as a nose guard, but he's playing nose guard, too.
That he is.
That's a good spot for a quick guy, too.
Takes the snap. Throws the ball deep down the right side.
We got
a man.
position.
Ooh.
I think there
That
should
was
be.
a little bit of push
Yeah,
off.
it
Yeah, okay,
sure
there's
looked-
a flag out on
All
the
right,
play at
good.
the 50-yard line. Looked like he got a little push in the small of his back. Let's check that out on replay and see if we actually saw what we saw.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Gave him the space he needed to make that catch.
Yeah, because that was it. It wasn't that big of a push, but it was what he needed to make the catch. Run that one more time. Go check out this quarterback. This is a pretty good play there. He looks to the left, looks the guy off, and then goes
Nice
back to the
pass.
right.
It was a nice spiral pass
That was.
right to the outside corner.
That was, and that's one of those things where he did push off. But this is one.
That's a pass interference on the offense.
Yeah, that's it. And that's a tough one to get. It's often you don't seem to get the offensive pass interference when it's warranted. They got it there. This is one of those deals, though, where they talk about going up to the highest point. If you see the receiver actually was standing and caught it right around chest level, he pushed off to get open. Another way to do that might be to slow down a little sooner, don't run as far, and that's where you go up and catch it at your highest point. He had to push off because he caught the ball low. Possibly if he'd slow down a little bit, jump, go to the highest point. That you also often, if you do that, if you're running, you're the receiver, and you slow down, the defender often will run into you. That's pass interference.
Yeah, it was Jeffrey Brown on the coverage, and he was in the right spot.
He
It looked
was.
like he got in the air at the right time and everything, and would have definitely disrupted that play had he not been pushed off on.
That's the only way the receiver caught the ball.
Sometimes the biggest and best plays happen that way with an uncalled penalty. They're going to back them all the way up to the 20-yard line, their own 20-yard line. The line to gain is the 45. Repeating 2nd down. Takes the snap, looks to his left, got a man coming to him. Across the middle, got some space. Wrapped up and taken down at their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, there was a commencement of players right there. There was several coming in, ganging up on the ball carrier. That's one of those quick little laser springs off to the side where the receiver starts off, steps back. The quarterback hits him real quick. He made a couple moves inside, but was good rallying by the defense to shut him down and stop it for minimal gain.
Yeah, that's a 10-yard gain on that, actually. Johnson, number 1 for the Pitbulls, was on the reception, cut up the field right across the middle, and gained 10. Still going to be 2nd and 15 after the big penalty. 3 wide.
Number 3 showing blitz down to the bottom of the screen.
Backs off. Quarterback rolls out, throws it, got a man.
Gee whiz.
Ooh, looks like he touched his feet, but he dropped the ball.
Dropped the ball.
Big hit. They're throwing a late flag on that.
What? Okay, let's see it again.
take a
Now,
look.
Look at the quarterback. Look at him throw off his back foot. This is one heck of a good hard throw. Look at this. He's just throwing back and backing away, and he puts it right on the dime.
And that is a completely clean
Yeah,
hit. He
that's-
hits him right in the chest. See that one more time.
Well, there's no question about that.
Dijonais
Jeez.
on that defensive play.
Look at him step away, and it's right on. That's a good throw by the quarterback.
He hit him right in the armpit and
Yeah,
chest. That's
okay. All right, because you know what? I always complain. I want you to make these calls. I want to protect the players. But we had earlier. Now, of course, maybe I'm being a home team announcer. We had earlier where it was a hit to the head. They didn't call that. And that's a completely clean play. Dead ball, personal foul, defense. Okay, so they didn't call it on.
play.
Yeah, they didn't call it on the hit. Yeah,
So that's good.
Yeah, that's good. So he probably said, I question your lineage. I've had people say that to me before. I never understood what they meant, though.
With that 15-yard penalty, it's going to bring up 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Very costly penalty at that point.
Jeez.
I didn't even see it actually.
No, I mean,
happen.
neither. Well, it had to be verbiage.
Possibly.
Yeah. Gosh, dang it, but if you make dumb mistakes, it costs you. Some brilliance there in that one.
Hands the ball off.
They got him.
Fakes. Nice tackle.
Yeah,
in the
that sure
open
was.
field. That was a great play. Number 1 coming through in the clutch. That's Shane Dishotel. Going to stop them just shy of the 1st down. That's going to be 2nd down and 1 to go. Entering the Hurricanes' territory at their 46-yard line. Three wide, 1 back, shotgun.
2nd and 1.
Takes the snap, hands the ball off into the backfield, makes a man miss in the backfield, cuts up the middle, gets up to about the 37, 38-yard line. That was a nice run.
That was. And when it's 2nd and 1, why would you not run it? It makes no sense. 2nd and 1, run the ball. That made sense to me.
Yeah, that's going to be a 1st down on the play. 1st and 10. The Hurricanes' 38-yard line. That was a pretty nice moves in the backfield.
It was.
There. He would have been swallowed up in the backfield, but he made 2 quick steps to the side and then accelerated forward.
I was actually going to enjoy that for a moment there, Ray. I thought, see, there you go. You run it and you lose yards on 2nd and 1 and go for the pass. But no, that was a good play by that running back.
3 wide, 1 back. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right.
Bearing down on him.
Definitely felt the pressure there. Number 22 in the play again, over and over again. Thomas Dijonais.
Our guy Thomas.
Man, he's all over the place.
Quarterback did a pretty good job, too, of at least trying to get the ball towards the close to the receiver. He did get out of the pocket. Now, whether the ball got back over the line of scrimmage, not sure, but it doesn't have to get over the line of scrimmage if it actually gets somewhere close to a receiver. The quarterback threw the ball with a pretty good pass for an incompletion, getting it at least near the receiver, so there was no question whether that was grounding or not.
3 wide, 1 back, shotgun set. 2nd and 10. Hands the ball off to the back, running out to his right. Finds a little seam and cuts up the middle. Gains about 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, he sure did. That outside contain on the Hurricane was not bad. He was in a pretty good position, widening a little bit, but you have to do that. And that running back saw that, made that cut, set his foot, planted his foot, turned it straight up, accelerated upfield, and got some positive yards.
That's Darren Bolivar on the carry. On that last play before that, it was really nice to see Dijonais. He hit the quarterback very hard, and then he got up and he went and helped him up off the ground too.
Yeah.
Great sportsmanship. 3rd down and 7 to go.
And maybe bringing some pressure here. This would be time to bring
Rolling
pressure.
out to his left, throwing the ball across his body. Great pass, great catch.
Jeez.
Complete at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that's how it's done. Run that again. Look at you.
Shane
Right.
Dishotel on the reception.
Look at the quarterback. Pumps to the right. Nothing there. Rolling out. You got to have some contain on him in this time. Throws across his body again. Ball on a rope. right, the only place he can really place it where no one's going to get to it but his own guy. Receiver alert's coming back to the ball. That was a good completion.
And I'm sorry, that was Johnson actually on the reception, number 1. He's going to bring up first down and 10 from the Hurricanes' 20-yard line. What a beautiful night it is out here, man.
Spectacular.
Got the sunset going on behind us, the mountains looking kind of pinkish. It's a beautiful night for football. So nice playing the spring and summer leagues as opposed to the fall and winter. It's all cold and raining, and nice hit in the backfield. Doesn't let him go anywhere, drags him down. They're going to give him forward progress to the 24-yard line. It's a loss of about 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, that's number 30 again. We've seen him a few times. This play, a number of times, made a number of good plays.
Got 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the game. Pitbulls 22, Hurricanes 7. Going to be second down and about 15 yards to go. A little gathering on the Pitbull side of the field there. Number 53 hobbling off the field. And he's walking under his own power on the sideline there. It's a good sign. A little limp to him. Hopefully it's just like a cramp or something. He can just get some water and get back in the game. Looks like they weren't quite prepared to take that snap right there. Flags out.
Yeah, cacophony of whistles, certainly.
Looks like they're calling offsides against the defense. It's going to make it second down and 10.
Yeah, defensively, you're a little more likely at this point of the game to anticipate the count, jump offside, especially when it's second and 15. And we're stopping the clock again.
7:41 to go in the game.
What do you say?
I didn't catch that. Okay, never
I believe
mind.
the head judge just said, never mind.
Yeah, that's it. And there's the whistle to continue
All
with
right,
the play.
let's continue the play here. It's second down and 10, just to recap, from the Hurricanes 20.
He's looking to the top of the screen.
Right over the middle. Got a man
Yeah,
intercepted.
there we go. And look at
Coming
he's
up.
got some room down
He's
here.
got space.
45.
It's to the 30, 35.
Get down there.
Out to the 40-yard
Still
line.
going.
What a return on that.
Okay,
He intercepted that ball at the 5-yard line and took it all the way back to the 40-yard line.
there we go. And I want you to see something. You're going to see down here towards the bottom of the screen, you're going to see number 45 running down, throwing a block. You like that. So watch there in the middle, right, coming down here to the end. And
It
what
was
he
a nice
did,
grab either way.
that was a great play. That was a great play. And this was number 45. The defender, as he's coming down, the defender turns on him, and he chose not to throw the block. So this is one thing where the best play was not throwing a block. And I mean, because you see, even in the pros, how often do you see a return like that or on a punt or something like that, and you see a block in the back, and it's like, why are you doing that? That was sometimes the smartest thing you can
Let's
do.
check
is
that out
not
one more
throw a block.
time. Watch as he steps up into the passing lane and just becomes the receiver.
That's coming back
Right
to
in
the
his
ball,
hands. Perfect.
catching it at the highest point.
That's right. That's John Walker with the interception there.
Yeah, boy, he sure broke on the ball, didn't he? He saw that coming, broke to the ball.
Takes a snap, hands the ball off up the middle. That's Washington with the ball. Makes a man miss and rumbles up for about a 6-yard gain on the play. Nice run. Alex Washington.
Yeah, we've mentioned this a few times before. You get over 5 yards on first down, that makes it a lot easier to make the play call for second down. 2nd and 4, hey, you can run, you can pass, and it also puts a lot more stress on the defense. Now let's see if we can take advantage of a stressed defense.
4 wide, shotgun. 1 back from their own 45. Hands off to the wide receiver running the end around. And gets back to about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, man, that's the old fly sweep. It looked for a minute there like they had something. Looked like they had some collapse to the right of the offensive line. Bottom of your screen looked like they had some movement. But then the Pitbulls rallied to the ball and minimal gain.
5:40 to go in the game. Dijonay back in. Washington getting a breather on the side. They gained about 1 yard on that play. Going to take it from the 46-yard line. That trips to the top of your screen.
Yeah, they're going to run some combination up there.
Or maybe a screen or something. Takes the snap, looks right, passes to the left. Incomplete.
That was pretty well designed, though, because like you said, Ray, the quarterback looked right and then came back over to the left, put a running back up into the flat.
So we've got an injury on the play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice interception that you
That
just
sure
saw there
was.
one more time. We'll see the whole extent of it. And like you were saying, that block that didn't happen
Right there.
Beautiful play.
Run that one more time since we have a little bit of space over there. And plus, because I kept talking about a block that didn't happen. And you say, well, why are you talking about that block? But you're going to see it. Here we go. Look at that. It goes highest point. Broke on the ball. That was just good. And then coming into the right of the screen.
Yeah, he could have just as easily pushed him,
He
and that
could
would
have.
have been a flag and called it, back from where it was.
Yeah.
It was a good play overall. I saw that too. We've got a man down. Hopefully he's got the wind knocked out of him or something. I don't see him grabbing for any particular appendage or anything. So they're kind of joking and laughing over there with him.
Yeah, that's a good sign, unless they don't actually like each other. There he
Hey,
is.
he's getting up.
Yeah, he was fine.
He's walking off. That's number 47. We've called his name quite a few times. Branson Stirk. He's made quite a few big plays today.
Yeah, I remember Stirk. Because, you didn't really get into it that much, Ray, but you usually give a pretty good spiel about, they're out here, they love it. The intensity, you see them just go at it, meaning the players. But they got to go home. They got to go to work tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but on Monday. They got families. They got all these other things that they need to do.
Exactly. That like I was kind of getting into it, but they, these guys can't really afford to get hurt playing a game that they're not getting paid for, that they're just doing for the passion of the game. They all have normal lives, wives, children, brothers, sisters, whatever, and they have to support their families and go to work the next day. They can't make football their 100% career because they aren't at that level quite yet. Some of them still striving to become that. This is a great opportunity for them to catapult that still. 4 wide set, 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. Takes the snap. Looked like a little miscommunication on the handoff back there. He's still fighting though.
Still going for it.
Dijonay, man, he's
He's a tough one.
he is a tough
Yeah.
one, man. He's hard to take down too. There's a loss of about 7 on the play.
There certainly was a time that took him out of easy first down area, and it's a timing thing, and that happens, right? When you have a reserve quarterback step in there, and he hasn't worked with those players that much, and it's just a step here on the quarterback's place, the step there with the running back, and then you run into each other, and it's a big loss. That was a big loss, too. So we're down to 4th and 11.
Moves his back in motion into the slot in the bottom of your screen. Takes a snap.
Bringing a lot of people. Lost
Rolling
contain.
out. He's got speed back there. Number 0. Making people miss. Gets past the first down marker.
runs
Gets
hard.
taken down at the 42-yard line.
And if we'll see that again, what you have to do is you got to contain. You got to have one guy on the left of the line, one guy on the right, and they got to get upfield and contain the quarterback inside. And unfortunately, in that case, and it's 4th down, right? So, I mean, it's 4th and long. You're pretty certain they're going to throw the ball. So you really got to contain that quarterback. Can't really let him get out of the pocket like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, like you were saying, Randall, coming up the middle. And from the left side, he just rolled out to his right, and he turned on the jets, man. He has lots of speed.
Deceptive
Looks like
speed.
there's someone lining up off sides there. There's a flag for that. Defensive end on the top of your screen lined up off sides in the neutral zone. The line judge at the bottom of the screen actually walking out to the center there is the one that threw the flag.
What a good run that last play was. That quarterback he just saw that, right? He saw the green out there at the flat. He knew there was it's 4th down. That was one heck of a play.
Yeah, it's very heads up, you know.
It really was. Yeah, because that's what happened, right? Here
Yeah.
it is. It's 4th and long. Are you really going to scramble on 4th and long? But he saw it that there was no contain out there. And he just, boom, he saw that. And then, hey, that guy's got some toughness, some wheels. He's got some power on the run. And he's a little deceptive in just looking at him. You would not necessarily think he would power through some of those tacklers that were out there for a big first down.
Yeah, he
That was nice.
definitely had good vision, too, which is nice to see from your backup out there.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, you don't want a quarterback to take off running that early, right? Right after he gets the ball. But once again, finally, he saw the guy lost contain to the left of the offensive line, to the left of the defensive line, right of the offensive line, and he just tucked it and went.
3 minutes and 42 seconds to go. First down and 5 to go.
Less than 21 points down.
Takes the snap. Looks right over the middle.
Steps
Steps up in the pocket. Ducks under a tackle and moves forward and gets tackled for about a 2-yard loss, but that could have been way worse than that. His first contact was about 5 yards deep in the backfield. So getting up a little bit further.
You know, run
not
that
a bad
one.
deal.
Run that one more time if you would, because look at them step up. That's the tough part. Look at they got good. They got guys on the contain, but watch them willing to step into the up into it. He had some time there too, but he's willing to step into the rush. Show him big blitz up the middle. They pick it up in the middle. He
Running
rolls out.
to his left side, looking upfield. He has
Look at him
got
go!
some wheels.
Oh!
He trips himself up.
I tell you what, there's a couple of pieces of that AstroTurf that's longer than all the other pieces.
Man, watch this as he steps. He turns the corner and then he just plants and goes right between 3 or 4 defenders and just tripped up on his own. I don't know if they call that down by contact or if they're going to give him the progress.
No,
Looks
they
like
call
they're
it
going to
down.
pump him all the way up to the 15-yard
Yeah,
line.
but they call him down by contact. Hey, can you say that? Can we see it after this play?
First and 10
Here we go.
from the 16. Got a man coming right down on him. Nice heads-up play. Throws the ball to Dejanay. He cuts up the middle. Gains about 5 yards on the play.
You're not going to believe that. Run that again. The guy came off of the edge to the left to the top of the field. Dejanay had to stop him. Look him come across in front of the quarterback. This is unbelievable. Comes across, nails him, and then goes out into the flat and catches the ball. That is a great play. All right, make it run that. It was we'll wait till he gets tackled. Run that again. Watch Dejanay. He's to the right of the quarterback. He says, "Oh, here he comes." Picks him up and then has the wherewithal to head on out. And plus, our reserve quarterback, all wrapped up, dips it off. That was a sweet play. And then he gets up, runs back over, gives it to the quarterback so they can line up and do it again.
Yeah, he's been all over the field today. He's been basically carrying a lot of the load of this offense here, especially since Williams went down. And between him and the backup quarterback, they've been, kind of playing a two-man game back there, which is, well, I guess all you need at points,
Yeah.
They're going to be second down and about 4 or 6 yards to go, maybe 5 or 6 yards to go.
So the Hurricanes on the sidelines talking about it. While we got time, let's just see that again. And you know, one of the things I wanted to think about, the running back's lined up to the right of the quarterback, and he's going to watch the right end. That's to the right. That's probably what you're expecting.
This is the run of the quarterback here last time. Still a sweet play.
It was a couple of great plays. Those are a couple of highlight film plays.
Quite a carry. All right, we're coming back out here. Got 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go here. Got one free timeout with that 2-minute warning. We would continue the drive here on their 11-yard line of the Pitbulls. Second down and 6. Set to take the snap. Trips to the top. Pitches it out. Dijonais making men miss. There's a flag thrown on the outside.
Hey, we got a new star. Oh, man.
He goes down about a yard shy of the first down. What a play. Let's check that out one more time.
And it was designed to go to the right.
This hesitation pause right there, and then he just breaks to the left. Bumps out. Man, that's some quick feet. He should be wearing number 20 in that light blue.
Yeah. Run that one more
like
time.
Barry Sanders out there.
Because look at how he stops. He just stops and squats all the way to the ground and then comes back the other way. So he has the explosiveness in his legs to be almost down, squatting, and then come driving out.
Well, as he bounced out on the outside there, right as he dodged the tackler that was fully extended, he didn't even take a millisecond to continue his progress upfield, which is, you know, that stop and start capability is something that is overlooked sometimes, but it is one of the craziest abilities that you can see in a running back and a wide receiver. Any player that can take a ball and just change direction and keep accelerating within milliseconds of when they stopped.
Yeah, and one of the things too is like on a quick cut. Almost always, I was going to say always until I saw that last run. Almost always happens as you come from high to low. Those incredible Barry Sanders moves. He would be high, his weight would be high, and as he dropped, his feet would start paddling, right? And that's almost always you see a quick cut. In that case, it was the opposite. In that case, he dropped to the ground and made the cut standing up. That's very rare. Very rarely can you see a guy make a quick cut coming from low to high.
That's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. There was a defensive penalty on that play, which bumped him all the way to the 4-yard line. The chains are set aside. It's going to be first and goal when we come back from the 2-minute warning here from the 4-yard line. Hurricanes knocking at the door. This game could get really close really quick if they can put the ball in the end zone right here.
Yeah, we got more than 7 seconds. Yeah, so just to go,
they can win by 14, Randall says, if they have more than 7 seconds.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't see what the call was on the defensive side.
No,
but
I didn't either.
They bumped the ball up. I saw the flag get thrown. It's getting into that twilight hour here. We don't have stadium lights going on. We have lights in the bleachers here for the fans, but nothing for the field. But fortunately, it's one of those summer evenings. It's still pretty bright outside. Remember last week it got pretty dark at the very end of the game there.
Beautiful downtown Spanaway.
If there is such a thing.
Yeah, you can tell the difference in our voice. That was Ray that said that. I think Spanaway is spectacular.
I wasn't talking about it being beautiful or not beautiful, or just downtown versus
Oh, yeah,
downtown.
right. No, that's a good point. Okay.
Yeah,
all right, there you go.
This is a middle ground, if you will. I believe it's unincorporated Pierce County.
Yeah, you know, actually, because when I came in, I didn't come down Highway 7. I took some of the back roads, and it's a rural area.
That's right.
It's got some historic buildings around there, too. Here we go.
All right, they line up. First and goal from the 4-yard line. Dijonais coming up and telling his linemen some stuff here.
Now, what could he be saying?
You're doing great. Keep it up. Looks like they're going to bring some pressure here on this play.
And from the top and the bottom.
Yeah, it's all over. Oh, it's just a quarterback keeper running right up the middle.
Oh!
He gets taken down. That's going to be a penalty.
That's a horse collar.
That's a big grab.
I actually don't like. Look at the receivers to the bottom, to the right of your screen, bottom of the field. Look at the receivers down here. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, you can take films of that and show them, teach them in college. That's some good deal. That's the horse collar. That's because you get bent awkwardly back over backwards, putting stress on your knees and other joints. I'm all for safety. I actually don't like that call. I don't like that. I mean, it was a good call, great call. It's correct. That's the rule. That's one rule I don't think they should have.
So is that a half the distance on this?
That's the problem when you get down there.
Yeah, so it's going to be about a 2-yard penalty on that play. But it's going to be another first down here. Another try at first down, another try at the goal line. The clock time is ticking. They need to be up on the line ready to go. And they are just letting it run right now. 1 minute and 45 to go in the game.
Now, why do you wind the clock after a penalty? Don't you wait for the snap? Okay, here we go.
Takes the snap, hands the ball off
Right
the middle.
outfield. There you
Dijonay. Touchdown, Hurricanes.
Well, that looked like a well coached, well practiced team. Look at that. Look at the surge. That's what you want up the middle. Then a little bit of seepage in there, and Dijonay makes that slight cut. See that little cut? Sees the hole, slips through. Wow.
I think he might be greased up. He's just sliding through everything
Yeah.
at this point. He's breaking it through.
I mean, he's hitting holes that you don't even see.
This.
Not this, but this. Oh. You just did that a couple times.
Okay, so what we got now, what they're going to do, right? It's going to be onside. What do you think? Right? I mean, it's the time to do that.
They have to kick an onside kick at
Yeah.
this point. There's 1 minute and 30 to go. I mean, they could, but their defense hasn't been able to hold them officially prior to that. So, I mean, their best option is an onside kick, and they were effective and recovered one last week that we saw. So, I don't think that it's anything out of the ordinary for them to possibly get that. But what's important right now is just getting the extra point right here. Faked the extra point, running it to the outside, swallowed, tackled, taken down. Wow.
I mean,
So-
is there a reason to go for two there, or do you think it was just a bad snap or something?
The question really is that they were going to have to go for two at some point to tie the game if they were to score another touchdown after an onside kick, but they chose to go ahead and go for the two right at that point. Now, if you're going to go for two, I believe in this league, my personal preference, which obviously isn't that of either of the coaches out on the field, but it's to line up with your team in an offensive position. You saw how easily they ran the ball right up the center. Not that that's easy to do against this Pitbull team because they've been pretty stout on defense this whole day.
Yeah.
But they just made it happen, so I think that would have been a more effective option.
So-
As it is right now, it's going to be Pitbulls 22, Hurricanes 13. So we got a 9 points disparity. That means onside kick, 2-point conversion. That's only 8. We're still down 1 point at that point.
Right. Yeah, and I understand with what you're saying. Sometimes if you're going to run the ball, you line up and run the ball. However, right, if you're looking for misconception, if you're looking to fool them, line up as you're going to kick the extra point because they're not going to line up to defend against a run or a pass. So I can see why they would go
It
for
works
two
both
on that.
ways, in
Yeah.
all honesty. They're trying to deceive the defense
Right.
or the special teams rather by making it an offensive play. But also, when you're holding the ball for a kickoff, you're back shotgun area. So I mean, you're back further from the line that you are trying to gain to
Right.
get that extra 2 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a limited amount of real estate, as we talked about earlier on the defensive side. There's not a lot of place for the defenders to go except for right around that ball.
Absolutely correct. That's good points to make. The thing is, though, when you line up in the pass, the guys off the edge are not as cognizant that they may need to reverse field and get out towards the sidelines. Good points both. I mean, I understand what you're saying there. I don't like going for two at that point because we talked about this earlier, right?
I've always been told that you'll have to give your team a shot at it. Like, you got to be within the ability to tie or win the game. If you go
Onside. Down here to the bottom. Oh, nice kick. Oh.
That was a beautiful onside kick.
Yeah, the only thing is,
Looks like it was a half yard short, though.
that's awful close. And that's close enough not to he's standing right there on the 50.
Yeah.
I'm going to wave it off. I like how officials will do that. Although I have to say, if you're standing on the 50 and they kicked it from the 40,
Yeah, that's pretty much a no-brainer at that point.
yeah. Oh, that was a good onside. You see how he kicked it so hard to the sidelines, and lots of times they don't want to kick it that hard. Maybe it was unintentional. They want to try to get a good bounce. You kick it hard to the top of the ball, trying to get a good bounce. The thing is, it's good. You hit it hard to the sidelines. If the guy on the sidelines on the kicking team, if he sprints down, he can then turn and face it and face the ball. So it could have been a good play there. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Hurricanes have been playing pretty well today. Just throwing a little too little too late kind of scenario
Yeah.
at this point. It's a 2-possession game for them to be able to win, and there's only a minute and 27 seconds to go.
Coming off the edge. Here they come. There you go. Oh. That's a good run there.
That is a good run. Number 22,
Jared Jones.
He's been a workhorse for this Pitbulls team all day long, and we've talked a lot about Dijonais, who's been very, very good today too.
Game of 22s.
Both number 22s on either side of the ball have been putting in work, so to speak, out here on the field. Neither one of them even shows any sign of fatigue or slowing down. They're both actually kind of getting better as the game goes on.
Yeah, they say that about, you've heard that, I'm sure. It's a common saying about the great running backs. I never quite could understand that.
That's because we're not great running backs.
That could be, that could be. But that's what they say as the game goes on, as they get warmed up. Yeah, I tell you.
I think it's half them warming up and half the defense getting tired, because some of those defensive bodies are big out there.
Yeah.
And that's on every level of play, from Pop Warner all the way up to the NFL. So
that's actually a good point, Ray. Yeah, you get warmed up when the other people get tired.
exactly.
Yeah, okay. That's gee whiz, because I've been actually wondering about that for quite some time. How is it that you get better as a running back the more you get hit, and suddenly it's amazing. You just cleared it up. It's if you're running hard and you're in shape, the defense starts getting tired.
It's not like a baseball player who's facing the pitcher for the third time and kind of knows what to expect, and it's not like that. I mean, the pitchers are getting more tired than they are, where they were the first time you faced them. But
Baseball.
yeah, I
We can
love
talk
baseball.
about. Yeah, well, it's fantastic. You were an announcer for a while, right?
I've done a lot of baseball
a lot of
stuff.
baseball.
Hands the ball off in the backfield. Breaks out to the outside and makes a run, cutting up the sideline to the 30, to the 25, out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. And there's the good old number 22 again. Man,
Jared Jones.
Jaron Jones.
Boy, I don't like to see this. He coming off the edge. It looked to me as he stepped off the edge, right? The change of surface. It looked to me like he tweaked his leg there.
Let's take another look at that.
Look at it. It looked like he didn't have much. We had some cut outside. Then look at the quick feet. Boom, boom, boom. Out. Turns it. Look at the acceleration. He's going.
And we got exactly what we were supposed to get,
Yep.
the play,
Yeah.
which is perfect. Great camera work.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Man, our camera work is getting better
It's
every
fantastic.
single game, isn't it?
It sure
He's
is.
pushing in when the play is actually accelerating, and when it comes to the point of attack, and you're able to see exactly what's going on. But when we go back to review these plays, we're seeing the offensive line, the defensive line, the blocks
At
all
the
that
beginning.
stuff. Yeah,
And then
it's
he
just
closes in.
exactly what you need.
And that's the thing. It's tough. It's tough to follow a running back who's making those cuts. And that's one thing I didn't mention it, but I was thinking about how are we able to see at that moment? How are we able to see the footwork, the body language, the weight distribution? Right? It's because as he goes down there, as the ball carrier gets downfield, the camera comes closer and closer on him. That's some good video here.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, just under a minute to go in the game. Pitbulls lead 22-13. It looks like they're just going to try to run this clock out here.
That could have been a little dangerous there because the quarterback went down. That's good. And good thing. You want to run that again, even though it wasn't much of a play. The quarterback goes down. The defense comes through untouched. You probably don't want to do that. The defense comes down untouched. But look at, see him stop, 13, stop, stand up. You could almost get away with a hit there. So that was good. So now I think maybe the offense will be a little more alert.
Yeah, they're going to run the clock out here on this game. I'd like to just take a moment to thank our sponsor, Northwest Athletic Apparel. When you're looking to make waves on game day, Northwest Athletics Apparel has everything that your youth and adult team might need to do just that, with affordable uniforms from team gloves to team hats and shirts, just to name a few. Before you take the field on game day, search Northwest Athletics Apparel on Facebook and let them help you start the season off right. Northwest Athletics Apparel, a proud sponsor of this week's game right here on Seagame.live. I'd also like to take an opportunity to say thank you to our producer, Chip, Apache Wolf Productions. He basically is the heart and soul. He gets all this stuff going, arranges all this stuff, comes in early, sets all this stuff up so we can do this broadcast for you guys at home. It's a lot of fun. We hope to get involved with some other games, maybe some of the playoff games for this league this season.
That would be great.
And then continue to spread the word about Northwest Athletics Apparel. I mean, they're doing great things for our community, for all these youth teams and organizations. Randall, thank you so much, as always.
Thank you, Ray.
You have always been here. You're my wingman when it comes to this stuff, and you always have interesting anecdotes to talk about at any moment. All I got to do is look at you, and you'll just go off. And
Well,
I
here's
love it.
another anecdote, right? There's another play. Because what happened was, well, I'm going to have to make something up. I wasn't watching.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Am I on? Is it the mic live? Oh, yeah. No, I don't know what the heck happened.
We got 6 seconds. They're not going to snap the ball. There's no play clock.
Don't snap it.
That'll do it.
There we go.
So your final score today, Washington County Pitbulls 22, Northwest Hurricanes 13.
Yeah, and
Thank you all for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a good game. And because, again, the team in white over there, the Pitbulls from out of Portland, they are 5-2, 6-2 now. They're heading to the playoffs. They played game. It was a good game. It was close for most of the game, and it was a very enjoyable afternoon and evening.
So yeah, this game was a hard-fought battle all the way through. It was basically a battle of number 22 versus number 22 when it came to running the ball in the game. It was very, very good running on both of these guys.
22.
It's nice to see. I saw Williams get up and he's walking out to shake hands out on the field. So he's walking on that ankle, which is great to see. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to everybody else that's involved in this. We really appreciate everything you do. Northwest Athletic Apparel. Great product, great sponsorship. Randall, do you have anything to add about today?
No, it ended up, it was an interesting game. We took the lead early on. That was fantastic.
Yep. Well,
we were close. The sad thing is it's actually a friend of ours that got injured today, Bryce Williams. But the reserve quarterback came in, and so that I think I would say, okay, well, the story of the game, well, 22-22, those are stories of the game, but also the way the reserve quarterback came in, had poise, threw some great passes, even though he was being rushed and running around. All to all, you see the things that didn't work here, and it's like some of those things you would think, well, geez, you think that people would be maybe a little further along, but then all of a sudden they just make great plays over and over again. I misstated that. It's not that I would think they were further along. It's just they were mistakes. That's what I was trying to get to. It's like, we make something happen and then we make some mistakes. But overall, this is a team that is just moving on. I think they got a big future in this league.
I think so too. It's been exciting to watch and follow these guys. The sky's the limit essentially with most of these players. They got a lot ahead of them.
Yeah.
And this is nowhere
Sure.
near the end. It's just a beginning for most of these players out here. They're having fun, which is the main thing. They're having a good time, and there's a lot of brotherhood and camaraderie between them. I mean, both teams right now are like out in the center of the field, congratulating, shaking hands. I don't know exactly what they're saying to each other, but
they go out and say a prayer, actually. They get together after the game, and they will sit down and say a prayer, and that's where they're putting their hands on each other. And both teams will put their hands on each other because it's and Ray, you say it so much better. I tried when you weren't here, and I wasn't able to express it with the same sincerity that you have. In that, this is not that they love this game, but they have other things that have to go on. I mean, they got to earn a living going to work on Monday. They have families, as you said. I don't say it as well as you. And this thing, what you see here, is at the end of the game, they all come together. They drape their arms over each other's shoulders, and they say a prayer thanking for getting through the game and for thanking for the camaraderie and the brothership that they share.
To me, this kind of defines the league. as far as the group, how every team, even though they're opponents and they're playing against each other, they all come together. Like, they're all the same. They
Right.
all come from the same walk of life. They all have families. They all have, different things involved in their life. And they come out and play football, and they're very competitive, which makes it fun for all of us to get to watch the game. But then at the end of the day, they're shaking hands. They're walking to the cars, walking to the locker room together, because it is a brotherhood. And anytime you've played any kind of sports, you know that this is something that you'll take with you for the rest of your life. You'll never forget the times that you had with your teammates, your opponents, your coaches, and your family.
And in closing, I got to jump on that. What you're saying is it makes it so much better to sit up here and watch these games when you realize the camaraderie across the jersey colors. I am so with you. It makes it so much fun after you watch a hard game to see them go out there, show the love and respect for each other that they have, and then walk on home, get with their family, and go to work.
Exactly.
Speaking of going to work,
I got to go to work tomorrow. Perfect. Well, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you guys coming out and watching us. And definitely get a hold of Chip at Apache Wolf. We can do virtually any broadcast that you like. Also, definitely Northwest Athletics Apparel. Look them up. If you're in the market in any way, shape, or form for that type of item, you need to check with them first. They will help you get you in the right path to what you need to succeed for what you're looking for.
quality, value,
Customer
and
service.
Oh, you beat me to it. That was the last one. It's a great company, great organization, and it's a lot of fun. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Live streaming and subsequent viewing of SeaGame Live is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Any views or opinions expressed during the game of the week on SeaGame Live does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of SeaGame Live, the league, teams, players, or sponsors.